And we're going live just after Harry ripped a fat one on the vape. Hello, welcome to Eaters of the Earth, episode 14, I believe. Is everyone in their right place? Yes, they are. Brilliant. Shall we get cracking? First and foremost, we always have to thank Freehold Games. Eaters of the Earth is inspired by the video game Case of Cud, and thanks to them, with their permission, we get to play within this twisted nightmare science fantasy world. Where, who knows, maybe everything goes wrong, or maybe today everything goes right. We'll see, won't we? Before we get onto the recap, we do have a bit of homekeeping. Sam is tragically going to be leaving us for the next 2 months. He's got an acting gig in Dublin, Ireland. So tragically, he will be absent for the next 2 months. We will miss him dearly, but he'll still be forever in our hearts, and will someday return. Unless, of course, super COVID shuts down the stream in the next 2 months. But we'll see.
We'll see.
But that's it. Yeah, we'll hopefully give him a send off at the end of this episode.
It was my birthday this week. Happy birthday to me.
Yes, happy birthday to Shannon. I don't think we should have it that it's also Carilia's birthday, because you are in the middle of a war zone, and having it be your birthday might be a bit too tragic. Although, up to you.
You've got to put it off. You've got to change
Birthdays happen during wars, man.
When you perish.
Sure. Up to you. If you wish it to be your birthday, it can be. But aside from that, you can have, as a birthday gift, you can have inspiration, Shannon, if you don't have it already.
That's the only present you're getting from any of us.
Get your present if you want. Anyway, I literally only found out about this about 30 minutes ago. So, is there anything anyone has to say for themselves before we get onto the recap? No? Okay, should we begin then? So, last time we opened with the conclusion of the meeting with Halbush, the Watcher, a wizard of Behel. What followed were 2 very intense days of preparation for war as the Thippian legionnaires drew closer to Behel. Ilek began to teach Ailey a little magic, just kind of showing her the first step towards enlightenment. Carilia met with the being known as Alaz Jo'alaz, the Master of Masters, in another realm, a dream space crafted in a place they called the Astral Plane. And the Oseth were given supplies of food and weaponry, as arranged with Halbush, and a holographic delegation of trusted members of Behel leadership ratified Ilek and Halbush's arrangement that the Oseth would fight with Behel against the Thippians, and then the Oseth in time would be allowed to relocate to Behel and provide their cure to the Shale Plague. Reaching the end of that kind of preparation stage, the Oseth concealed themselves in the valley before Behel and waited for the Thippian attack. And that night it came. Thippian soldiers snuck into the city to sow chaos, while a great phalanx, you think perhaps 1,000 strong, marches through a gap in Behel's dilapidated walls. And we ended with the Oseth preparing to charge. Anyone got any questions before we begin?
Have I had a chance to re-roll, or have I got my roll?
So it's a new day. You've been resting in the valley, so you should have new rolls of fortune.
I shall re-roll.
Yeah, new golden path rolls. Anyone else got any questions at all? So you have gained a long rest, I should be clear. You have rested early and for 8 hours in the valley before Behel, in preparation for this attack that has now come.
I have no questions. I just want to express my fear.
Okay, that's cool. I appreciate. No, it's always good to know what the players and the characters they're playing are thinking. So is Carilia? Does she feel?
It's on your birthday, well, Carilia.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Carilia's hyped. Shannon's afraid.
Carilia's hyped. Okay, well that's good for you. So no questions then. Should we get it? Oh.
Did we establish that I can sing a mantra while taking other actions if I'm only speaking?
You can't do anything that would interrupt the speech. You can move around and do bonus actions. I believe it consumes your action to maintain doing the mantra. I might be wrong. I would check that in the rules.
Yes, I think you're correct.
Yeah, so you can bonus action and move, but you can't speak aside from to do the mantra. Otherwise, you're in trouble. But yeah, kind of essentially. One last thing.
I have one other question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
My spell malfunction.
Yes.
It resembles the standard D&D spell counterspell, but I assume that I can't cast it in response to things.
I don't believe so. No, it's kind of like a downgraded counterspell that only works for technological magic.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Good.
I just want to say that I've just got some killer golden path rolls, so I'm very excited.
Oh, can I know what they are, or do you want to keep them hidden and surprise me?
No, they are. I've got a nat 20, a 19, and a 5.
Very nice. Very, very good. Well, this is
Very nice.
hopefully this prophesizes a successful battle. One last thing, little quick retcon. I did miss this, so apologies to Shannon. You will have been given, Corellia requested a little bit of Sethnet's blood. I'm going to say that Ilek at some point has given you a small vial of it. Probably you would understand it as maybe some kind of clear, very hard resin, given that you probably don't know what glass is. But yeah, you've been given a little vial of this thing. So yeah, sorry for forgetting that. I guess that could be Corellia's birthday gift. Anyway, shall we begin?
Have you ever
then?
celebrated a birthday before, Liam?
I think it's up to you whether your tribe has birthdays. That's
Don't
entirely your
normally give
decision.
vials of blood as a gift.
True. Well, you can interpret it as you like, Shannon. It's your creativity. Let it flow through. Anyway, shall we begin then? Everyone got all the questions out of the way. So, first to set the scene, it is just past dusk. There's still the kind of faintest stroke of red in the western rim of the night sky. Behind Behel, you can see these thin lines of smoke from the ravaged Beckvie Flats, kind of rising up, kind of flecked with bits of orange ember still in them. Before you is Behel. Behel is a small city. It's surrounded by these circular walls, or a circular wall. The kind of western half of it has been left to become dilapidated and disrepaired in the kind of period of peace that this region has been enjoying. And as a result, there's a rather sizable gap in the south western part of this wall through which this great phalanx of 1,000 Thippian soldiers is marching through. And behind them, in the kind of the valley that Behel occupies, the Oseth are mustering their forces, intending to attack this phalanx from behind. And the strategy here that Ilek has planned out is for Behel to hit them from the front, you and the Oseth to hit them from behind. Although I will note here, you know that the Behel soldiers, unless things have leaked, do not know the Oseth are going to be here, engaged in this. So that's just something to bear in mind in the circumstances here. That lays out things. Hopefully everyone has a kind of a picture in their heads, of what's going on here. Obviously you don't have a battle map, but does everyone have more or less an idea of the kind of the geography of this? Cool. So, to roll back the clock just a little bit, as the Oseth were preparing in silence, as the Thippians mustered... Oh, God. Sorry about that. These Thippians were briefly barred from marching into Behel by this spectral barrier. This giant kind of impossibly thin hexagonal plate appeared there. And while that was happening, a number of Oseth knights had unwrapped leaves that were swaddling their swords, revealing that they had been dipped in this purple pitch, this purple burning substance that Ilek procured. Torchbearers had travelled through the ranks, igniting these blades while relaying Ilek and Kimoshet's orders to hold steady until the signal was given, with these blazing swords held into the earth to conceal their light. And meanwhile, Ailey had witnessed Ilek performed this sinister magic upon himself, which had spread a golden glow through his veins and into his eyes. And he had also granted you a bit of magical protection for this conflict. One thing I did forget to mention, you may recall Illic has a blue staining to his eyes and teeth. You might just faintly notice in the dark, Ailey, that as this gold spreads, that blue in the eyes and teeth slightly kind of retracts a bit. So that's that. So, onto the present. The barrier blocking the Thipians has come down. They've begun their march into the city. And within, you hear the sounds of conflict and chaos faintly travelling to you. The party is alongside Kimoshet and Sethnet in the vanguard. Kimoshet, if you have a speech or a poem or just the order to charge, you may speak now. You've got 3 horns that have been fashioned from the blood of Os, waiting for your command to sound. What are you doing?
Where I'm carrying the horns, or other people?
No, so you've got 3 people, each of which is going to blow into a horn to give the sound.
Yeah, so I've been sort of encouraging the men quietly. You know, don't worry, men. I didn't write any funeral poems for today. Only songs of victory. And then, so I'm gonna. Is my sword still in the ground?
So Illic is next to you. He can produce a fire to light it. So I'm going to say it hasn't been lit at this point. You can light it as soon as you like, basically.
All right. So I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw myself up. Oseth, that wizard over yon, point to Illic, released us from a treacherous curse. We owe him reverence and song, but we can do better than words and verse. His people stand in need of aid. Friends, let us see our debt repaid.
Very
now
nice.
I'm gonna light the sword.
Very nice. You hold it out. Illic extends his hand. He's got this crescent of silver in it that fire springs from and catches the tip of the blade, and purple fire spreads down this thing and blazes in the night. You can have inspiration for another good poem. Good for you, Harry. Do you give the signal for the horns to sound?
Yeah. That's that. I assume the lighting of that thing was
sure. So these 3 horns sound. Their noise is not unlike a didgeridoo, but booming and deep, like this guttural grunt of some gargantuan beast roused. And in this bleak black of the night, 100 blazing swords rise with the Oseth behind them. I assume you charge. Cries go up as the Oseth begin to march and then run forwards. Fairly quickly, their blades fall upon the few Thipians posted around this gap in the walls, this entrance to the city. Those here to maintain the bridges and ladders they had put across the trenches here to get in. Your people quickly appropriate these, using them yourselves to get into the city. And soon neat ranks are marching with a brisk pace down this street. To paint this place, you are essentially, there is a kind of a main street, a wide enough street heading towards the tower that's at the centre of Behel. That's this Thipian phalanx is marching down, and you are coming up quickly behind them. Last time the Oseth got a 16 to conceal their blades in the night. The Thipians got a 15 on their perception, so just did not notice. What you've got around you are several of these buildings that are only kind of 1 or 2 stories high. Some are a few or 3 stories high. Around the doors are barred, and there's several kind of small off streets that could maybe kind of fit between kind of 2 to 5 people aside if squashed together, leading off this main street that you're charging down. Hopefully that gives everyone an idea of the kind of the geography that's now within the city. You're heading in. Is there anything anyone is doing at this precise moment, kind of just before the Oseth are colliding with the Thipians? Does anyone do anything? I'm going to say that Kimoshet and Sethnet and the party beside them are kind of just before the front lines, but they're close enough that you can wade into it if you want to.
Oof. I'm just sticking near Elec because that's where we want.
Sure thing.
Ailey's actually staying sort of deliberately behind the front line. If she can, she's sort of behind the wave of troops.
Oh, you can. I mean, there's 400 Oseth here. You can be behind all of them, but you're going to be very far away from everyone else if that's what you want to do.
I think what she wants to do is avoid combat, but she doesn't want to avoid being nearby. I don't know how.
You can just say that she is, Ailey is staying behind this central group, the command. So everyone, unless someone specifically runs through this entire group to try to get to Ailey, Ailey's going to be the last one they get to. That's fine.
She's looking for people who. She's looking for anything she can interfere with her abilities, which means mostly tech magic or someone important enough to do a mantra on.
Sure. Okay, cool. And I mean, I assume Harry Kimachet is leading the troops, although you can, if you want, say you want to break off Oseth to go to the city.
I'm at the front.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you talking about?
No. What I'm saying is, because Kimachet has a certain amount of command here, if you want to command groups to break off and go into the city or anything like that, you are free to. Or if you want to try to reorganize how your ranks are formed, that's within your capacity as someone in command here.
Are we in total? Are we a bigger or larger force than the other one?
Smaller.
The one we're specifically attacking.
You are in total. You're about 400 Oseth charging at about 1,000 Thippians, and the hope is that the Behel soldiers will strike them from the other side, and your lacking in numbers will be made up for by a pincer movement.
Yeah, I'm not splitting up.
That's the basis of Elec's strategy. Absolutely, sure. Shannon, is Corelia doing anything specific?
Not right now, mainly because Shannon's not smart enough to think of anything, but she's mainly keeping an eye on her pals and on Sethnet, ready to touch them up if they go down.
Sure, cool. So you can say you're getting ready to try to heal people if anything bad happens. I mean, this is just me asking if there's anything very specific and outstanding that you want to do here. But if not, if everyone's kind of got their positions, they know what they're doing. The Oseth and the Thippians collide. There's a brief moment where the Thippians see these blazing swords in the dark approaching them. Cries go up. Enough of them manage to... You see this shield wall kind of roll over just about quick enough to try to catch some of them, but the Oseth collide and suddenly cries of violence are going up in the night. You see blazing purple swords arc and bite into the splint armour of these Thippians, who themselves are caught with the purple pitch and burn with their wounds. But at the same time, these are professional soldiers. They rally, they begin to gather. It is not just Thippian cries going up in pain here. Oseth as well begin to be struck down and wounded in this conflict. If no one's doing anything else at that specific moment, those of you who are fighting in the front lines, who are actually going to be swinging swords against these people, can you give me attack rolls? And also, you will, based on those attack rolls, I'm essentially gauging how well you're doing in combat, and so you may get attacks back if you don't do very well on those. So I'm assuming that's Kimachet for sure. I'm going to roll for Sethnet. Barney, I don't know. Sam, you tell me if Barney's kind of hanging back with Ilek, or you can tell me if he's swinging.
I mean, I'll when hanging back with Ilek, but I think I'll just stay within his vicinity. So if somebody's around, I will attack.
Sure. Okay. So
Shall I roll?
Okay, I'm going to say actually at this point. Ilek himself is holding a sword, and he is going to kind of fully march in and start just swinging this blade around. So you can say you're beside him. Brilliant. Okay. Harry, did you do some attack rolls with Kimachet?
When you say attack rolls, how many?
You're making a normal attack as if you were just using an action, but rather than it like hitting a person, because I'm not going to calculate 1,000 people against 400. It's more going to be your success on these attack rolls gauge how many attacks you're getting back, essentially.
So the first one was 19.
Cool. Okay.
Am I just taking a turn, basically?
Yeah, effectively.
All right, then can I do poetry in motion on the turn?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a first line of a haiku.
Wait.
You played yourself, buddy.
You don't think I have haikus prepared? I have more than 20 haikus prepared.
Give me a haiku, Harry.
Foolish Scipion.
Oh, hold on. Let me say the haiku. Come on.
Foolish Scipion. That's 5 syllables.
Is that 5 syllables? Brilliant. Okay. So you made one. Are you making a second attack roll? Because you have 2 attacks per.
Do I get to use my poetry on my second one as well?
No. You only get to use poetry in motion once per turn.
Yeah, okay, my second roll is not very good. 16.
16. Okay. Oh, you got 19 for the first one, you said, right?
19, 16.
Cool. Okay. Do you want to give me damage for one of those? Because the Thipian armor is 19. They have splint and they have shields. These are very well armored professional troops. Do you want to give me? And you can add a D8 fire damage because you have a burning sword.
A D8 of fire, that's sick. 1 D8 plus 6, 5 plus 6 is 11 plus. Ooh, that's an 8. 19.
19. Okay. 19 damage. Nice. Very nice. Okay. That means you're only taking the 1 attack from a retaliatory troop. 1 second. They only score a 16. So there's a kind of a brief break, a slight gap in the ranks, and a Thipian lunges out with their sword to try to get you, but you manage to just narrowly swat it away. I think Kimoshet's AC is 17, isn't it? Yeah, so you managed to just deftly and easily parry that out of the way. Barney, do you want to give me some attack rolls?
Yeah, so my first attack roll was an unnatural 20.
Very nice.
Do I roll damage now?
Yeah, so, what's the second one? Just roll both of them and do all the damage. Basically, I'm taking your total damage in 1 turn of attacking, and then against certain numbers, how much damage you do reduces how many attacks you take. That's the mechanism here in place.
Right. Okay, so my second attack roll is 17.
17 will not hit. One of these guys, you would get through the armor, but one of them raises a shield in time, and you clang against it.
Okay, but my unnatural 20 will hit, will it?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Okay, and so hold on, sorry, I'm getting confused.
That's all right.
Am I rolling damage now or not?
Yeah, you're rolling damage for 1 hit.
Great. 1d10 plus 2. Oh, I'd also. I'm too late, but next time I will cast Unfortunate 1 on everyone else.
Okay, there are 1,000 soldiers here, so you obviously can't affect all of them. I believe it's 1 person at a time, isn't it?
Is it 1 person at a time? I thought it was like within a.
No, it's not everyone around you. I believe it's 1 person you single out as someone who's going to get a debuff to their roll.
Just get right in the middle of them.
No, it's whenever a creature's in 30 feet of me.
It's the best fucking exploit. I love this.
Hold on 1 second.
How many creatures are within 30 feet?
Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check or saving throw, you can expect 3. Expend 2 luck points for 1 minute whenever a creature within 30 feet of you makes an attack or saving throw. The target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's really overpowered. There we go. Yeah, sure. All right. No, I'm going to be held accountable to my own rules that I definitely didn't properly check. Sure thing. I think I'm going to say in this instance, it's going to be a d4 in regards to Barnelect here, because otherwise you're hitting, like, a lot of people.
What about me?
Which might be a bit overly powered. Is that all right with you, Sam?
I don't think it's
Hey, man, whatever.
You're still sort of generalizing ability over like a long period of time in the battle, right? We're not going to be, micromanaging the interactions of every unit. So
sure. But
it's fine.
Even so, I don't want to have to remember a d4 for every single person of every roll I'm making. Anyway, what damage did you do?
Hold on, sorry, I got distracted by that. So I got 9 plus 2 is 11.
11. Okay, you're taking 2 attacks. One of those misses, but one of those is a natural 20.
Okay.
Let's have a look. So if there's nothing you want to do there, I'm going to roll some damage now.
I mean, it's very early in the day, isn't it? So watch me get absolutely
Oh,
down
okay.
to the ground.
What's your total HP?
You
Oh,
see.
hold on. Let me just check. When just say no, it's 19 if something gets. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay, you take 16 points of slashing damage. Those beside Barney see him overextend, and a nasty gash is cut across his arm as he kind of lunges forward and is caught by a Thipian blade.
Great.
If that's you, I think Ilek is going to kind of jump alongside you, kind of cry out, "Pull back, Barney!" And he is going to swing his sword. Doesn't do too well on these rolls, but he does manage to. Okay.
I will give him what he got.
Sorry.
What did he get?
He only managed to hit once, but you see that as he dives in, he moves this blade with incredible deftness. You think he perhaps has more familiarity with swinging a sword than you do. Perhaps a side of him you've not previously seen, although you might flash back to that time he handled the sword that he had given to you very easily. But he kind of pulls you back by the shoulder a bit, dives in, swinging this blade around. He manages to parry a blade out of the way. Another one catches him deeply in the shoulder, but you see as it pulls back and kind of draws blood across his chest. Where his shoulder has been cleft, kind of immediately begins to reknit itself. Golden blood kind of pools from the cut, and the flesh kind of rebinds and pulls itself together. His healing appears to have accelerated its speed at this point.
Can I retcon in that when Barney got hit, I shouted, "Chin up, camel! You'll be fine."
Sure. Absolutely. You absolutely can. Okay, there's that.
Is that the second line to your haiku?
Fuck, does that break my haiku?
Oh, it doesn't.
That doesn't break your haiku, no. Don't worry about it. You can speak in between the haiku. It's just a kind of a meditative thing for King
7 syllables.
Anyway, so that's a representation of this initial part of the battle. Swords are swinging around, clanging. Cries and severed limbs are going up. At one point, Ilek kind of pulls back, and those around him, I'll say Kiriliek and Ailey, can see he produces, again, that orb of chrome, and kind of pulls it up to his lips and speaks into it. He shouts, "Kobzai! 100 cubits closer to you than the purple lights." You hear kind of those of you who are close enough can, I'm going to say, Ailey nearby. Corilla definitely is nearby, but you'll kind of faintly, amidst the din of this conflict, hear a voice crackle back from this orb. Ilek, who are these lights? Who do you see? He just barks, "Now!" into it, and after a second, hold on, let me just read this. For a brief moment, it is day again, as a brilliantly bright bolt of light draws a line from the top of Behel's tower to the street below. The silhouettes of 1,000 Thype soldiers are for a second illuminated, and in that flash you see bodies and blood splatter suspended in the sky like paint strokes on a canvas, petrified by this split-second singular burst of light. With the light gone, only the screams confirm that this vicious tableau isn't still hung above you in the night air, and you think perhaps this is Kobzai's artillery that Ilek mentioned. As the battle continues, occasionally there will be, admittedly later on, these further flashes of light as something strikes down into this mass of soldiers. Soon you hear distant cries rise from beyond the Thipian phalanx. Behel soldiers are charging. Those of you who are kind of tall or high up, Barney will see this, maybe kind of Ailey from her kind of back position, a bit of ways from the clash. You'll see that they are heralded by these loose bolts of lightning that shudder through the mass of legionnaires. You see them kind of slip from, flung from some silhouette in the dark, and then they're gone. And then Behel soldiers come from behind to strike against the Scythians.
Can I jump in and do something?
What? Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to do?
Can I make my way over to Barney and
Sure.
touch his giant shoulders?
I need to ask at this point, is Barney still on the front lines, or have you pulled back a bit?
I've pulled back a little bit.
Sure.
Shimmy my way over, and I'm gonna give him 8 temporary hit points and advantage on Constitution checks.
Okay. So, Barney, you are kind of moving back, fending off sword swings, and you feel a hand at your back and a strength flow through you, and you know Kirilia is by your side. You don't even need to look. So, at this point, those of you who are fighting on the front lines, can you give me another round of attacks to see how well you're doing? I've got to roll for Sethnet now as well. Oof.
Can I check, Liam? So with what is it we're doing now instead of?
It's basically I'm using
but...
mechanics to represent you fighting on the front lines and being at risk by making attacks to see how well you're doing, and then using that to gauge how many attacks you get in return.
No, I mean with an unfortunate one now because
Sure.
we obviously can't roll numbers for.
I'm going to make it that every time in the crush here in this battle, if anyone's swinging at you, they're losing a d4 to the attack roll. That's how I'm going to render it here, which is pretty good against a mass of soldiers.
Lovely.
I think. I might reword that after this game though. Anyway, so those of you on the front lines, is it just Kimachet here, or is Barney fighting as well?
Got a 15. I'm putting that dice in dice jail.
15 does not hit. Is that? Do you want to roll your second attack?
Oh yeah, I have got. Oh wait, I need to do. Do I need to hit to do the poetry thing?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just when you make an attack.
Okay, that second one is better. 15 plus 7. What's 15 plus 7?
22. That one will hit.
That's sick. Does that, wait, so I'm doing my second line. Why is my second line? Fuck. Oh yeah. Did you stumble upon death?
So those of you who can maybe just briefly catch these kind of slowly, methodically said lines of haikus, and you may catch Kimachet doing these very strong, kind of rigid strokes with his blade that just kind of hew through the enemy. What's your damage, Harry? Remember, you're adding a d4 for your fire. Although, as you're hitting people, it is scraping.
It was a D8. It was a D.
It's a D8. You're doing an extra D8 fire damage. But every time you're hitting a person, you are transferring more of this pitch to them, which obviously is going to eventually extinguish your blade if you keep quenching it in people, as it were. Just so you know.
Okay, so I'm just rolling normally and then adding a D8.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
That was 13 damage.
13 damage. Okay. In that case,
I rolled for attacks in case people are attacking.
Sure. Okay, Barney, give me some attacks then.
I got an unnatural 20 and a 24.
Both will hit. Very nice.
Jesus.
And okay, Harry, one of the attacks upon you is a 17, which you can parry, but will otherwise hit you. Will parry. Cool. So you see a blade kind of just nick across Kimachet's armor, but he manages to raise his blade and knock it out the way in time. Barney, do you want to give me your damage?
Can I parry as much as I want? I can, right?
No. Parry is a reaction for against one attack, so you can parry against
an
attack.
Per turn, I can do it.
Per turn, you can do it once.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Sam.
12 and 6.
12 and 6. That's damage, so 18 in total. Okay.
Yes.
You have one attack that only gets a 15 versus AC. Does that hit you?
Sorry, say that again.
You have a
you went.
Oh, sorry. You've got a 15 versus your AC. Does that hit?
I am 15, so
that will hit. That will hit you.
The same.
Yeah, that hits. And I applied.
Okay. It won't because I'm going to give it 5.
Okay.
Make it 5 so it doesn't hit.
Sure, absolutely. Corellia, you see for a brief moment Barney kind of getting a bit too into it. One of these Scythians goes to thrust into his midriff, but just kind of someone steps slightly to the side and knocks the blade out of the way that just kind of swings through the dark and misses him. Cool. Okay. At this point... Oh, hold on. I've got to roll for Ilek. Nice. That's going to be 2 hits from him. Okay, but he did terrible on the damage roll, which kind of sucks. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Sorry, I've just got to keep track of a lot of numbers here. You see Ilek wading in and swinging his sword around with this very quick, deft speed. He's parrying blows where he can, but at one point a Scythian soldier fully steps up and puts a sword through him. You see it just clean go through the chest, through a lung, which is then kind of scraped and pulled out, and you see gold blood splatter. You would think this would be a fatal blow, but do you hear this kind of horrible gurgling laugh coming from where one lung is filling with blood? Ilek is kind of laughing in this mad combat as fatal blows kind of come into him that seem to only perturb him, if anything. That's the second part of the combat. Cool.
I have a question.
What's up?
Is he staggered or pained by this blow, or does he sort of not...
taken damage?
Does it not even
it's
phase
healing
him?
up. Give me a perception check.
I do need dice for this game, don't I?
Yeah, tragically.
That is a 10.
You're not sure. It seems like normally Ilek would have just full out died, as would anyone in a reasonable world, from a blow like that, and he still seems to be standing there swinging the sword around. Anything beyond that you can't really see. It's dark.
But he doesn't seem like he's not made vulnerable by the impact or anything. He's just sort of marches on.
I'm going to say you can't tell. You can't tell if this is inhibiting him at all or if he just doesn't care. Yeah. Okay. 1 second, just checking notes. So,
horrible.
Yes, rather grim. Just keeping track of things here. Right. So that's that for now. That is the battle that's going on.
Can I also go over to Kimachet?
Okay, Kimachet is on the front lines. If you're going up to heal him, then you're going to be. I'm going to say Corellia is putting herself at risk.
I'm putting myself at risk.
Sure. Okay.
Harry, please reply to my message. Which one do you want?
Oh.
I don't know. Are my attacks based on strength?
Did you, Shannon? Did you use enhance ability on Barnelect? I don't think you could use it on 2 people. I'm just checking here.
Can I not?
No, I believe it's concentration. So, if you use it on Kimachet, it'll stop on Barney.
I used it on more than one person in a previous game when we were.
I believe that's if you use it
with
on
the fire demon.
I believe that's if you cast it at a higher level, you can affect multiple people, I believe. I'll just
leave it with Barnelight. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have higher
Enhance
levels.
ability is concentration.
I can give you.
So if you use it on Kimachet, it will end on Barnelect.
Oh, okay.
Leave it on
Sorry,
Barney.
Harry, I promise you.
Alternatively, you could use a 3rd level on it and cast it on Kimachet and Barnelect right now if you want.
Yes.
That's what you
Then
want
you
to
have
do.
to touch them.
Yeah, you have to touch both, but I'm going to say that in the throng of things, you can quickly touch one and touch the other.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. You could burn a 3rd level on that.
Harry,
in
you're
that
strong.
case, sorry, I didn't hear that. Your or my internet
So it's
died.
Shannon. It's
wait,
advantage
what are
on
you giving
strength
us?
checks. This isn't going to buff his attacks, to be clear. I just want to make sure you know what's going on.
Fuck it, give me HP then. Give me HP.
Okay, you get flat 9 temporary hit points and bonuses on Constitution checks. Wahoo!
Woohoo!
And that's the third level you've just
58
learned.
HP.
Cool. Okay.
And then I ran away again.
Okay, you're going to take some attacks.
58.
Kirilia dives into the throng. So, to be clear, did you just do that on Barnlect as well?
Yes.
Okay, so Barnlect also gained... I guess you're giving in the Constitution one, so also gained some more temporary hit points. Okay, that's some very bad rolls. What's Kirilia's AC?
I do believe that it is. I do believe I can just check the sheet. It's 16.
16. God, the best they got was a 15. That's really irritating. At one point, a sword swings towards you, and you kind of raise your hand reflexively, and just kind of with sheer psychic projection of fear, the blade just bounces off of nothing, and you kind of retreat back into the night as Oseth kind of file around you. Okay. At this point, as Kirilia pulls back, you kind of this sword swings at you. You block it just with your hand and your raw psychic power. You stumble back. Oseth kind of knock past you. The cries around you deepen. The sword swings slow, and time kind of comes to a stop. For a moment, you're just standing there in a completely petrified war zone. You can kind of see blood suspended in the air as someone is cut, fire swinging, people's faces kind of held in agony and facial expressions of rage and so on. Kirilia, you look around for a moment and you see that a perfectly still body of an Oseth militia beside you has no head. The neck ends in a flat point, and above it a golden sphere.
This fucking guy.
Can I ask, is that what Kirilia thinks at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Then he will open by saying, this is the last point that we are going to talk for a while. The body is completely unmoving. It's just the golden sphere there speaking in your head. The bone men are going to lose. This Esper, and as he says Esper, you kind of see images of mosaic in your head, weaves the leaders of the enemy together, sharing their knowledge. Even now, messages travel of your surprise attack. Soon you will find yourselves surrounded and destroyed. Does Kirilia do or say anything? Kirilia is moving within this space.
Well, are you here just to give me a warning or some advice? Is there anything we can do to turn the tide?
The body that is just completely frozen in time breaks from its petrification and turns and points back to the... hold on, sorry. Turns to point towards Ilek and says, your compatriot plans to extract the location of an Esper from the enemy and strike at her from a distance with these, kind of looking towards the tower, these arrows of light. But it will not work. The Esper's location, the physical form, is far from this place.
I have to attack her on the mental plane. Is that what I have to do?
You're beginning to understand, and turns around and points to this hole in the wall of Behel that you've come through. A weakness can be a strength, and a strength a weakness. As your compatriot used this weakness to surround the enemy, you must use the enemy's strength to strike where they are weak. Remember what I have taught you about the astral plane. Time and space do not exist there. While your compatriot cannot reach her, the enemy Esper is right beside you. And you are kind of jostled by an Oseth moving past, and you are out of this trance. Time never stopped for anyone here, and you are kind of moving back through the throng, back towards Sethnet, who is crying out orders and kind of directing things. I haven't rolled for attacks against Sethnet, actually. Oh.
May I please call in Grace here to translate what Liam said? Because I feel like Shannon kind of got it, but not 100%.
I can reread any of the words I said because I know I'm not very good at doing his accent. So,
My opinion, as attorney for the party, as opposed to the DM.
well, Carillia is free within this to go and talk to Ailey, so that or telepathically message her. So that might be the better way to deal with this. By the way, you've noticed Sethnet has taken a bit of a blow.
Ailey has no idea that I could talk to this golden boy. Did you?
I don't know about the golden boy. I do know that I do know about Mosaic though.
So what is Carillia doing in this time? I don't think it's fair for Shanna to say, Grace, tell me what my character does or anything here. But you can, as you know, through Carillia, talk to Ailey. No, I just want because you said, you know, can Grace interpret? I just want to be clear that it might not be in the spirit of things, but you can fully talk to Ailey, and you know, use Grace's analytical ability through her.
But then I have to roleplay someone who doesn't know about tactics.
I mean, I have made this fairly tactically simplistic in the hopes that helps your efforts. Anyway. Shanna, what is Carillia doing?
Rayleigh, the dream team. Okay, I feel like in her shock, she's probably been, you know, let herself be knocked to the ground a bit. From a position on the ground, she's just going to be like, Ailey.
Are you okay? Where are you?
I want to let her know everything that Golden Man told me. I feel like there's no point wasting time telling her who told me or how I gathered the information. Just, you know, express the certainty that what I know is the truth.
Sure.
Like,
is the quickest way to do that to send me like an impression of the conversation, or is it longer to like edit it?
No, it will be. You will send her kind of just the raw knowledge of, okay, I think the Esper's doing this. I think Ilek's plan isn't going to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I receive this feeling, and I say, I warned Ilek, but his plan doesn't account for it. It's the plan of a wizard, not the plan of an Esper. Can you confront her spiritually? You said that she has talents, but you're stronger than her. Is that right?
I think I could do it, but I'm afraid, and I don't really know how.
So Ailey, I think Ailey at this point has sort of jostled through the crowd and is sort of, and she appears next to you.
I would say, I
down.
just want to note, Carillia has collapsed. If you fell over, you will probably not even notice, but Sethnet does reach down and kind of just forcefully pull you back up at one point. I think with your telepathic communication, you know, the words of Sethnet are just like, wop, 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 you know, to you. You are focused on talking to Ailey, but he pulls you up and kind of turns back to the fight in front of him.
So Ailey appears, and she casts Hard Light Blade, and in her hand, conjured from the ring, spiraling out into a shard of just energy. She says, we are small, we are weak, but we are as strong in the ways that matter as any of these. Strike now. Show your worth.
I want to send Ailey the image of the hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm. Wait, the hole in the wall, like the.
Do you mean the hole in the wall of Behel, or?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Is that? So I'm confused.
With the impression, this is how we get in, like, Mosaic.
So Ailey's confused because she's under the impression that like a psychic battle can go on like regardless of location, right? Like, because if Mosaic is reaching out from anywhere and doing what she's doing, can't you do the same? Can't you reach across whatever distance and
Am I
and
completely
struggle with her.
misinterpreting what Liam is saying? Liam, are you trying to express to me that there's some kind of psychic hole in Mosaic, psychic wall that I can psychically enter through?
So the
Give me a just a raw intelligence check for Corillia.
Oh, that's not gonna go well, buddy. Okie dokie.
the impression I get is that
Actually, to say
Mosaic
that
isn't really present at the battle, right? She's really far away.
15.
You got a 15. Okay. I think Corillia will know that the words of Alaz Alaz are not literal, in that there's not a literal hole in a wall somewhere. It was more you think more on weakness to strength and strength to weakness. If this hole in the wall has been turned into a strength by Ilek, in hopefully that this his strategy works, then I think Corillia will think, okay, well, interpreting that, where is the gap in the wall of in the metaphorical sense of whatever it is Mosaic's doing, where is it I can find the opening, as it were, and then you may tie that to Alaz also saying that she connects. She's connecting the leaders of the enemy. I think those two things will occur to Corillia on a 15. Someone needs to mute their phone,
so
by the way.
Ailey receives this image. She says, there is one person tying together everything. If you can go to her and overpower her, soul to soul, it will crush them. One person holds all the threads. Go there with your spirit and sever them.
Are there?
Do it.
I'm sorry, Sam, I can't hear you. Are there like empty buildings around that I can duck into to have like a psychic moment?
Have a psychic moment. I mean, the doors here are barred up. You don't know if they've been abandoned or if there are terrified families inside them right now that are, praying to God no one comes through the door with a sword.
I think it's
Gonna be me.
believable. I think it's believable that Ailey is sort of, while talking quite fervently, she's also kind of dragging Shannon. She's dragging Corillia back from the front line to like relative peace. And I don't think Ailey knows that Corillia will be, unconscious or insensate, but she's ready to sort of protect whatever magic she might be doing. Oh no, needs 10 minutes set up.
I'm going to add as well on Corillia's 15 intelligence that you think maybe that you've pushed a bit onto the kind of the astral plane before. You've perceived the kind of the psychic underlying reality. It's not like you don't think that just the whole metaphorical or otherwise in Mosaic's machinations is just going to be something that you can just see and walk into. You're going to have to by some way reach something. Does that make sense? You're going to have to maybe not. I can't give you the answers here, of course, but
well, that's still still.
I need to ask what is it Corillia is doing specifically in this moment?
Can I just check 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it's not a coincidence that you gave me Astral Commune just before this battle. If I bring someone there, is it just like a place where we can talk away from?
Yeah, it's just a place where you can talk.
Okay, so they can't interact with anything there. So if I brought Ailey with me, nothing could
You can make constructs within it. You can use it to plan out things in a kind of tactile way and so on and talk. And I will say I am mentally keeping a note of how long Corillia and Ailey are talking, and that may influence things.
This is me talking to you.
No, I know, absolutely. But Ailey and Corillia have been talking in narrative. It may be something you can use. You don't know.
If I go to astral commune, time freezes on the physical plane, right?
Yes, it's just your mind kind of racing at infinite speed, so time doesn't pass.
First level. Okay, fuck it. Yeah, me and Ailey, astral plane time. Whoop,
Okay.
Go.
Ailey, you are kind of talking. Can I ask, what does Carilia's astral plane look like?
It's a forest.
Okay.
Like a dense, jungly forest.
Sure. Ailey,
sorry.
you kind of grab and pull Carilia back from the kind of the melee in front of you, and then you just step back into some place unreal. It is a half-remembered forest. The trees here are kind of blurry and undefined and porous. There are gaps in them, like gaps in memory, but you are within a forest clearing, and at its centre, Carilia. Shannon, what's going on?
Do I have my possessions?
Would you believe you have your possessions?
Well, importantly, do I have the staff?
Okay, I'm going to just say now you have a facsimile of the staff. Because you carry around the staff, you have a representation within this place of the staff.
Mm-hmm. But I can't speak to it.
You can't spells with it, you can't speak to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we have 60 seconds here, right?
You have 60 seconds. I'm going to start a timer now for you to talk.
What the fuck?
Let's skip it. It's fine. Please tell me what to do.
If you are here, we are in what? A dream? Dream
Yes,
with
we're
Mosaic. Find her weaknesses, seek them out, throttle her, break their spirit.
Take her lunch money.
Okay.
You can do.
Skip us out.
You can. That's it. Okay, sure. You just end there.
That's all I'm doing.
Ailey's, if we've got to be quick, Ailey is being to the point.
Okay, cool. You end. The dream collapses, and you are just back amongst, kind of Oseth struggle past you. People are beginning to die. Bodies piling up. It is turning into a crush at this point. Carilia, what are you doing?
I want to find the safest place I can find away from the battle, whether that's in a house or just down a quiet side street, wherever is far away.
Okay, sure.
I want to go in my mind.
You duck down a street. What is it you're doing?
I've seen... Oh, Ailey, you're coming with me, or you...
Sure. Ailey comes with you.
Do you think you could meditate with me?
I can help you, I think. I can try.
I will say Ailey has a high enough intelligence that if time is the factor, Ailey's method of meditation, of just like breathing exercises for a period to achieve a state of like calm, this is not exactly the best place. If time is a factor, and ideally you want a quiet environment, at the very periphery of a war zone is not really going to be anywhere you can quickly get someone into a meditative trance.
Yeah, I mean, Ailey's technique is not really useful, but she can be supportive, I suppose.
Shannon, you need to tell me what it is specifically Carilia is doing here.
Carilia is going to gather all the memories that fill her with the most, like, coldness, There's the memory of Sethna rejecting her kiss, the memory of her leaving her tribe. I don't know. Maybe sometimes she peed herself when she was 6 and all the kids laughed at her. Just all of these memories that are so distant from like love and kindness that like Carilia identifies with. And like armed with these memories as a shield, she wants to seek out Mosaic.
Okay, can you give me a psychic check then, as you temper the mind and try to extend your senses?
I really like Carilia arming herself with the feelings that she would normally reject. That's really cool.
That is very cool.
Oh, shucks. Okay. 23?
What did you get? 23? 23, okay. Carilia, you psychically clad yourself, and with this insulation, I'm going to say you project yourself in a way that is not warm and empathic in the way that Carilia does, but is just mechanical. It is just sensory. And as you extend your powers, your psychic essence that understands and touches the life force of things, you feel these bodies cutting into each other. You feel life bursting and dying and fading. you extend yourself out, and you feel somewhere within that heaving mass, almost as if that would be a kind of a two-dimensional plane, threads on a third dimension extend into it. You feel amongst the mass there are individuals that something psychically connects to, and you feel the threads of mosaic in the dark amongst this throng of life connects to specific individuals. And you think of the leaders, and you think of Joe Alaz's words of connecting to leaders, and you think that maybe the captains amongst the Thipians here have a active telepathic connection to Mosaic herself. And I'm going to say on your 15 intelligence, you think that is the opening itself. And of course, with the Oseth kind of hewing into them with this melee, there are a few of them not far by, but they are not on the very front lines itself. There's going to need to be a specific push to cut into the Thipians to reach these people in some way. I'm going to also say on your kind of cold mechanical senses, you feel yourself within Chemishet and Barnelect. You have cast a spell upon them, and as such they are currently extensions of you. You feel kind of Barnelect and Chemishet moving and deflecting blows and taking cuts, and you feel the blood in their mouth and the pain at the end of their nerves. And you feel that through them you could extend into these gaps in Mosaic's wall of these captains. You think that you need to get Barnelect or Chemishet or yourself to one of these captains and make a kind of a consistent contact with them. Your power is life, your power is connection. A physical connection of some kind is necessary here. Your powers are not so great that you can just find Mosaic where she is purely telepathically.
Sorry, there's a siren just outside.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, I think I'm most connected to Barney.
Sure.
Sorry, Harry, your character's just new.
What?
Can I... Barney will recognize my psychic sense. Oh, but I guess I'm masking it.
You'll recognise Barney speaking in your mind, but Barney may sense that it is a colder, more focused Corellia than normal.
Okay.
So I can sense with the threads where these captains are.
Yes, you can tell the captains. There are 3 of them nearby to Barney, but there are soldiers between them and the Oseth forces. They're specifically holding back from the very front to direct things here. If
I wanted to correlate, so the closest and the weakest, you know?
I don't think I'm going to say at this point. I don't think Corellia can sense particularly who has taken the most hits or anything.
Okay.
But you can single one out to go after that one.
Okay, then I think I'm just going to send Barney the impression of the closest captain, and.
Okay. I'm going to say Barney. You just kind of get the sense that someone important is maybe nearby or something. I don't want to hold your hand, Shannon. This is a good. Okay. This might be a good opportunity for astral commune because you can create images and so on and relay information within that space.
I love having my hand held though.
Sorry.
Especially during
but this might be the last time I hold your hand for this session at least.
Okay, time for astral commune. And you know what? I can bring 6 people, so let's all go.
Okay, so who are you bringing? I'm assuming Ailey, Barnelect, Corellia. Who else? There's Ilek in the throng, Chemishet, Sethnet.
Chemishet as well. And I'm going to... Is that Ilek or Sethnet you're saying there, Grace?
Ilek. He's got the magical theory shit.
Okay, are you bringing Sethnet here as well or not?
1, 2... Can I... Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Is it 6 including me?
I don't... Does it say?
It works both ways, right?
Oh no, it just says all willing allies within range though. So.
I mean, I can say you can kind of you're close enough, that you can get them all.
And let's all go, friends.
Okay,
Setnet too.
Barney,
Coffee.
you swat a sword away that just comes inches within your eye, and then there is a flash, and you are within, as I say, this kind of half-remembered jungle clearing. Sethnet kind of looks around. Those of you see Ilek. His body is, it's like Doctor Who when he's regenerating, whatever it's called. Like his body is just kind of glowing and pouring out this golden light from it. He looks around and goes, this is curious. Kurilia, your work? I'm starting the timer now.
I ignore his question. We don't have much time. Ilek, your plan is shit. You're shit. Barney, this captain, you need to go to him. You need to maintain physical contact. You know, whether that's a punch or hugging him, I don't give a fuck. Just make sure you're on him. Everyone do good. Don't die. It's going to be great. Any questions?
Haley leans forward.
Do I
and
need to
says-
make
Haley leans forward and she says, the captains are linked to an Esper. She binds them together. You need to touch her so that Shannon can fight her.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that
When you
Kurilia
say-
has raised her hand, and vines have grown to shape like almost like pieces on a chessboard. You get a representation of where these captains are, vaguely approximate to your locations.
When you say maintain physical contact, do you mean actually like holding them, or is that engaging in contact as well?
I think swords are just fine.
Okay.
The dream collapses, and Barney, you are back amidst the mist. You have a moment where you catch eyes with Ilek. He goes, very well, come on, let's get into it. Can everyone roll initiative, please?
Let's be having you. Where are you?
9.
$17.
17.
Sorry for my road.
It's all right.
I'm not actually
it
sure what
initiative?
Haley's job in this is.
I got a 20. Unnatural 20. Also, what is that bloody motorbike noise?
So what did Barney get?
Oh, that one I made road. I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry, what are we rolling for?
We're
I
rolling
didn't hear,
initiative.
because loads
It
of
is
people
now going to be
sort of
going
like didn't
individual
hear.
combat as you lot are doing what you can to wade into the Thippian soldiers to try to reach one of these captains.
I got 16.
16. Okay, very nice. Is that everyone? And are you including Sethnet in this? Did you bring Sethnet into the dream or not, Shannon?
Yes, I did.
Okay, brilliant. He can risk his life. Cool. All right. Okay. You reach initiative. At this point, I think we're going to go to break, just to rejuvenate ourselves before the grueling combat to come. Those watching, stick around. We'll be back, hopefully in the briefest of moments, but maybe about 10 minutes. Stick around. See you in a moment.
Let's go.
And we're back, and everyone's working. Cool. All right, so let's get into things. Kemashet, you were also taken to this astral plane. You kind of look around, you briefly catch eyes with both Barney and Ilek. They both kind of shoot you a look of recognition. You can kind of, almost kind of guided by Kurilia's psychic hand, you have an idea of where this captain is. You maybe briefly catch the glimpse of, kind of unique pauldrons amongst the throng of Thippian soldiers.
I don't have a clue what the bloody hell's going on here.
Well, I mean, okay. Kemashet has limited information, but I think you know that Barney needs to get to this person. I would say.
But I do know that that camel needs to get over to that captain.
Let's go.
So you are basically now going into initiative with all the people Kurilia brought into the astral commune and a unspecified number of Thippian soldiers who are going to be specifically dealing with you lot. One of whom is the captain you need to reach, and assumedly find some way to bind, restrain, something like that, subjugate, so Barney can hold his hand to this person. Kemashet, what is Kemashet doing, Harry?
Nub.
How far away is the captain? Can I see the captain?
He's you get the sense he's 60 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to sort of carve a path towards him.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I don't know how this works mechanically, but I want to be just moving forward and swiping at people to get them out of the way.
Look, I mean, to keep things simple, essentially you are surrounded by soldiers who are fighting on either side. There's just to keep things simple, a ring has been formed. There's a number of Thype soldiers inside that, and the captain, and then the rest of you. Although Caridia and Alia are kind of outside of that right now. So, Keemachet, you can just run up and attack the nearest person to try to carve through if you want. And also, bear in mind, Keemachet you have authority amongst the soldiers here. You can choose to shape the tactics that might penalise some areas and benefit yours, or vice versa.
I think for now, just going to see what I can do on my own. Because
Sure
I've got my third poetry in motion verse up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, that's my first attack.
It might help to roll all of your attacks at once.
No, because the other ones are on advantage.
Oh, yes, the next one is on advantage. Yes, sorry, my mistake.
So my first attack is a 16 plus 7, 23.
Sure, 23 will hit.
And as I do that, I say, and this is going to sound a bit out of context because we've forgotten the last.
Well, you can say the whole thing right now if you want to make it, do the whole haiku.
Yeah, the full haiku was, "Foolish Scipion, did you stumble upon death, or do you seek it?" So with that last one, I remember smack with my sword.
Sure.
And then I'm going to action surge, or rather, I'm going to do my second attack, and then I'm going to action surge into my third and fourth attack.
So I'm going to tell you now that AC is 19, just for if you get a 19 or higher, you hit, just so you can quickly add up how many hits you've got and then do all the damage.
So second attack is a hit.
Cool.
No, is a crit.
Is a crit.
Yes.
Very nice.
My third attack is also a crit. This is crit, right? That little symbol.
Yes, the symbol will be crit, Harry.
Okay, the symbol's crit. That's a second crit. And 17 plus 7, 24, so that's a third hit.
Are you rolling 2 dice at once, by the way, for advantage?
Yes, I am.
Cool.
This is the good shit.
All right, so you can apply. You have 3 more applications of your burning sword. With the crit, that will double the 1d8 you would normally roll to 2d8. You said, did you hit 3 times or 4 times?
Well, 4, including my first one, and then all the second, third, and fourth were on advantage. So 4 total.
You hit 4 times. So you hit with every single attack there.
Yes.
Blimey. Okay, so you will be rolling, because you are, I assume you're two-handing your longsword. You're going to be rolling, God, a lot of mental maths here. I think that's 6d10 plus...
D10, oh, yeah, it is a d10.
Yeah, 6d10 plus 5d8. Which I can roll for you if you want, because I think I have a few more dice.
Yeah, can you roll?
Because he's getting a 1 normal hit with his burning sword, and then 2 critical hits with his burning sword, and then he no longer has pebble pitch on it because he's basically butted onto too many people. You get 5 hits with it. All right, let's get some dice together. That's okay. That's 60-10, and then d8s. Oh, God, a lot of dice. This is pretty good. And have you given yourself the bonus temporary hit points you get from completing a haiku? Okay, some good numbers as well here. Okay, that's 10. That's fucking hell. Okay, 24, 29, 33, 33. Sorry, I'm so bad at mathematics. 33, 42, and then 42, 47, 48, 50, 58, 66. You do 66 damage. Keemachet just lunges forward, fully decapitates one of these people. Harry, I will say you will do... I'm going to dole out that damage to 2 Thype legionnaires here. If you buff the damage a bit, you will kill 2 people in 1 turn. So you can use some of your... You might want to use a fighting technique here to just push the next person over the edge.
Can I use sweeping attack and put my crit onto another person?
So I don't think does sweeping attack put the crit onto another person.
When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, and you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to damage another creature with the same attack. Choose another creature within 5 feet of the original target and within your reach. If the original attack roll would hit the second creature, it takes damage equal to the original damage roll.
Jesus Christ, yes. Is that a bonus? Is that bonus action?
It doesn't say anything. It's just a thing.
Okay. Sure. You can still add. You have abilities that can add bonus damage. If you add bonus damage to your final attack, I'm telling you now, just so we get the most out of this, because obviously it's kind of hard to picture things without like a battle grid and so on. If you buff the damage, you will kill 3 people in 1 turn. If you use that as well. Actually, no, because you're only sweeping attack on the 1 attack. No, sorry. Okay, no, sorry. I'm miscalculating things in my head. I'm going to just say, to keep things simple, Kimachet steps forward and fully plants himself and with a hefty swing just decapitates 2 people in 1 blow. Because if you did enough damage and applied it to 1 person, then hit another attack with them, yes, you would kill 2 people in 1 go there. So this blazing sword just swings in the night and 2 heads fly off and blaze and fly backwards into the Thipian Legion.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal, yes. Their heads are still alive. The rest of them, not so much. That's Kimachet's monstrous turn. Carillia, it is your turn. What is Carillia doing?
Do people not attack me?
It's not their turn yet. They're going to act in initiative order to attack you. What's
I'd
Carillia
really
doing?
like to not have a turn because I'm so afraid of messing everything up.
Okay, I mean, you have ranged spells you can cast into this.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering how many spell slots I'm going to need to save to fuck up Mosaic.
True, if you want to just shore up your energy. Remember, you have side points you can convert into spell slots as well, if you want to just focus on.
But I'm also afraid of dying when I use those. So...
No, so you either use side points or you use hit points. And I don't think you've used any side points yet, so you can just create spell slots without taking damage.
Is there anyone dying in my immediate vicinity?
Barney's taken a bit of damage. Sethnet has taken a bit of damage. Ilek took damage and has recovered.
No, just any random OSEP on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people who are dead and dying around you that you can put.
Okay, then I'm going to use Spare the Dying on the closest dying OSEF.
Okay, sure. You see someone who has got like a massive rent in their bone plate who's kind of just gurgling and shuddering, and you reach over and just kind of knit things up enough that hopefully if no one trods on this person, they may survive till tomorrow. Is that your turn then?
Yes, I've done a good thing, and now I shall retire.
Barnlect, you're in the melee. You've shared a glance with Ilek and Kimachet, and you've just seen Kimachet step and just slice these 2 heads off. What is Barney doing?
I would like to get behind Kimachet, like because I imagine if he's going through, I imagine like they might close around us as
absolutely
we fight. So
fair
I'd
enough.
Like to
Yeah,
go
you can kind of back to back, side to side kind of thing with Kimachet for sure.
Yeah. So I'd like to attack, just like the good old days, eh, Harry?
Fuck off!
and just attack the nearest peeps as we make our way through.
Sure. Give me your 2 attack rolls.
Okay. Rutro.
Have you cast Fortunate 1 on yourself, by the way? That might benefit you here.
I have, yes.
Cool.
Which is always fun. So 1 is a nat 20 and the other is a miss.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. Do you want to give me your damage for the nat 20 then?
I do. Beautiful. Plus, I got top. I got top and top. So 14
notch.
plus 2, 16.
16. Okay, you kind of leap beside Kimachet, and you're not quite as good at just raw sword play as he is, but you in a nice swing, and you manage to slash across and kind of halfway wound one of these Thipians. So, just keeping notes of things here. So 16 damage. You cut across them, and they grunt and shout something very disparaging about your mother in Thipian. That's you.
My mother's lovely.
Right, it's now time for some of these Thipians to act. Oh, God, I've got to roll a lot of dice now. They are going to... What are they going to do? They're going to do 3 attacks for Kimachet, 3 attacks for Barney, and 2 attacks for Ilek because Ilek hasn't really extended himself out yet. So these are Kimachet's attacks. Kimachet has a 19 and a 23 coming at him that are going to hit, unless he does something. Harry? I'm going to assume he parries the 19.
Is the third one going to miss?
And the third one misses, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to just take those 2 hits and then riposte the one that missed.
Okay, you can... is a riposte a reaction, can I ask?
Yes.
Okay, then you can't parry and riposte. Sure. All right. Okay. Very well. I'm going to roll some damage against you then. That's 16 points of slashing damage. 2 of these Thipian soldiers lunge forward. You get some nicks in between your plates. Blood begins to run between them.
Not much blood because I've got 63 hit points at the moment.
Oh, very nice. Okay. But you've got some energy upon you that is just compelling you forward. Do you want to give me that riposte against the one who missed?
That's just an attack roll plus my superiority die, right?
I believe so, yes. I'm going to roll the attacks for Barney while we wait.
Use your action to spend 1 superiority die to make a melee weapon attack against the creature if you hit at the superiority. That's a crit.
Oh my god. I shouldn't have got him weighted dice. Alright, do you want to give me damage?
Sorry, so that's 2d10, right?
Mm-hmm. You've no longer got a fire that you can apply to this blow.
7 and 3 is 10. Plus my...
This is monstrous.
That's an 8.
Did you just 18. You didn't just add the fire damage, did you?
No, I added the superiority die that you expend when you do the roll.
Oh, does it add to the damage? I thought it added to the attack roll.
If you hit, add the superiority to the attack's damage roll.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, cool. So how much damage is that total?
18.
18. Good lord. Okay, one of these people is on their last legs. Tragically, they got some very good rolls against Barney. That's a 2 25s and a 19. Does Barney have parry? I can't remember. Oh, they've got to reduce. They've got to take away 1d4 from all of these, though. So the 19 becomes a 16. Barney. So Barney doesn't have parry. You said, Sam. No. Okay. I thought he did. All right. That's still gonna hit. Still. Okay. Yeah. I'm afraid all 3 of those hit.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go, baby.
13, 15. You take 24 points of slashing damage. Barney jumps to beside Kimachet.
Is that taking off the? Is that taking off the 4s? The 4.
I believe that only affects attack rolls, not damage rolls.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You're taking 24 points of slashing damage. You die beside Kimachet trying to defend him, but there's overwhelming blades around you striking at you.
That's all right. Still going, thanks to Shannon from earlier.
All right. And the 2 attacks against... Oh, they get 2 3s against Ilek. So he just is laughing like a lunatic and just diving out the way, swatting these blades. Okay, that's them. Sethnet's turn. Okay. What's he going to do? Sethnet is going to fight beside you, I guess. He's he's a general back in the day. He got a nat 20 on one of those. And he might actually... Hold on. Oh, not quite. All right. The one that Harry riposted, he just kind of... As Barnett is struck back, he just stepped through and cleanly stabs with a real force behind his thing between the plates and just kills this Thipian outright. He is going to turn to Barnlect. He's going to turn to Barnlect and shout out to you amidst the chaos. Rise up, soldier! We're not done with you yet. And he's going to give you only 7 temporary hit points. Unfortunately, didn't get a very good roll there, but still. He fills you with a bit of
can I change his roll?
It's a D8. What do you want to change it to?
Well, no.
Changing it to a 20 might be a bit much. Or a 19. I don't think that quite cuts it, I'm afraid. Sorry. Now, it is Ilek and Ailey's turn. what are Ilek and Ailey doing?
So Ailey isn't in the battle, and I think she is.
You're close enough, though. I mean, you are literally, I'm going to say, a set of housing away from it or something.
Yeah, but I think more important, like, she actually wants to protect Corellia, because if we rely on Corellia's safety, she needs to not die.
Absolutely, sure.
Almost all my magic requires way longer than we have.
You have, I think you have a lightning spell that you can just cast into the throng.
Yeah, but that's it does kind of get attention to where I am, and therefore put Corellia in danger.
Sure.
And
so you're not doing anything, or?
I think I'm going to do nothing. Yeah, I'm going to. We're in a building. Is that right?
No, you're in an alleyway. You didn't break through the door to get into a building. So.
And if I try to move Corellia, is she responsive?
Yeah, Corellia is responsive. She's here, but she's focusing on the battle.
Okay, I'm going to look for somewhere to conceal her. My goal would be to find a better hiding place or a building to enter and then barricade.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
18.
18. I mean, amidst the throng of the Oseth is quite protective, but also I'm going to say you kind of maybe see down this, kind of a bit down this alleyway you're in, there might be a protrusion where the chimney is, and you think kind of in the corner of this, amongst soot, is a place you could conceal Corellia fairly well. Someone could walk past her and not quite notice if they're coming the other way.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to lead her over there, and then I'm going to, on my future turns, I'm going to try to do what I can to make a barrier or a concealment.
Sure. Okay. It's Ilek's turn. Ilek is going to focus on keeping the other soldiers around you out of this melee. He is going to kind of jump to the side, and he's going to cast Hypnotic Pattern. You see he produces some object. You don't really get to scrutinize it, but it begins to flash with light, and he points it out, and kind of by cupping it in his hands, a cone of it, this strobing light, comes out and hitting the eyes of the Thipian soldiers. He's kind of attacking out. He's kind of doing this out the melee, so I'm going to say he's not going to roll for this. You see a number of soldiers kind of get caught in this light, and as it flashes in their eyes, and you kind of see, the red behind it, they just kind of stop and become sluggish and kind of stand there swaying, and there's a clear intent, a desire to move, but something stops them. They become faintly slack-jawed, and he's essentially holding this out to prevent there being a kind of a swell of soldiers moving in to block your path to the captain. You see in his other hand he pulls out what appears to be kind of a whip made of several joined cylinders of chrome, and he turns to Barney and Kemashet and Sethnet and say, "Go, get to the captain. I'll keep him here." That's going to be his turn. It's the rest of the Thipians now. So you've felled 3 of them already, which is pretty good. So that means... Sorry, just doing some mental maths. Okay. I've got 6 attacks. I'm going to do 2 attacks upon Kemashet, Barney... no, I'm not. What am I going to do? I'm going to do 3 attacks upon Ilek. That's amazing. All of them miss. I got really bad rolls there. The highest I got was an 8. Thipians come for him, and he just kind of is kind of just narrowly sidestepping, like that kind of kung fu stuff where you just do a slight step to the side and the sword swings past you. One of them gets a bit close and he just swats it out of the way with his sword. Kind of shouts "fuck off" to the face of this Thipian next to him. So 1 attack for Kemashet, 17 versus Kemashet's AC. He's used his reaction, so this will hit.
Yeah, my AC is 17.
You take 13 points of... No, hold on, not 13. 11 points of slashing damage. Barney, miss, and Sethnet, critical fail, a natural 1. Sam, can you describe Barney's emotions for me right now?
Heart pumping and like very nervous, I think, and like very aware that he's been hit hard a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But confident because of the help of his friends. He feels confident and safe around his friends.
What are your emotions regarding the enemy? To be a bit more pointed.
Let's take these fuckers down, he's thinking.
Okay, I'm going to say, blood in the teeth, a bit of grit. Barney's normally a very affable, nice person, but maybe these guys are making Barney just a little bit pissed off. One of these Thippians goes to stab Sethnet, who is someone who has become, not just an individual that I think Barney has a bit of respect for, maybe, but also a kind of a...
We've shared blood.
Shared blood. Someone who's a comrade in arms and a symbol and an important figure for the future of the Oseth people. And there's a split moment of contempt for this Thippian stepping forward. And you can, if you want, burn 4 luck points here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's burn those 4 luck points.
Perhaps even unknown to Barney himself, something new coalesces within him. I'm going to send you a new trait here, called Contemptuous Misfortune. This Thippian goes to step forward to thrust into Sethnet, is jostled from behind, falls forward, and manages to land on his elbow and swing his sword into his own shoulder.
That's sick, yeah.
He yelps in pain as he falls and stabs his own self, taking a bit of damage. He manages to do 8 points of piercing, slashing damage to himself as he falls over and stabs himself, and he is now prone before Sethnet. Last attack. Oh, that is the last attack. Okay, it's now Kemashet's turn again. You've cleared a few of these people away. You see glances in the crowd of this captain, their pauldrons shining, kind of looking with a bit of alarm as Ilek has stepped forward and stunned a number of their soldiers, while some of these enterprising Oseth and Adromad kind of hew their way through their soldiers. What's Kemashet doing?
I mean, I'm just going to keep cutting, really.
Brilliant. Go for it. Yeah. You can start another haiku, by the way.
Yeah, I am going to start another haiku. But first, I'm going to roll my dice. So it's just 2 regular attacks. I might inspiration that one. Yes.
Okay.
So that is...
I will say, Harry, there's because one of the Thippians before you is prone, the one who went to attack Sethnet, you can attack them on advantage. Attacking someone who's prone in melee gives you advantage on the attack. If you want to attack this person while they're down. I will
do that. I will roll another dice.
You can essentially re-roll both your dice there if you want.
Those definitely hit then.
Cool. Do you want to give me some damage?
1 sec. I needed to check something. I needed to say the second line of my haiku, or the first line of my haiku.
First line of a new haiku.
I know not your name.
Sure, you go, I know your name, and you bring the sword down. Give me the damage.
Oh, shit. Sorry. So one of them was a crit, so 10, and the other one was a 4.
10 and 4. That doesn't sound right. You can't have dealt 4 damage on one of those. Are you adding your damage modifier? Which I think is like plus 6.
I'm on the wrong thing. Actually, I was going to ask. So it says +1 longsword, attack bonus 7, damage type, damage 1d8 plus 6.
Yeah, you add 6 to the damage total.
Why 1d8? Because below it says 1d10.
Because it's a longsword. If you wield it with 2 hands, it becomes a d10. It's versatile. That's the nature of the weapon of the longsword. So you're doing it with 2 hands. So assumedly you're doing 1d10 damage. You're adding 6 to every 1d10 to the 1d10s you roll.
Okay, so that's a 10 and a 16 then.
Okay, cool. So that's 26 in total, to be clear.
My maths isn't great, but yes.
Okay. 10 and 16, Harry. Yeah. Okay. Literally do exactly the amount of damage you need to do. You drive your sword just clean through this Thippian in front of Sethnet's back and just pull it out. Splints of metal brackets kind of fly back. This person gurgles and expires before Sethnet. Is Kemashet doing anything else?
I mean, are there many other people? I'm going to move forward.
So I'm going to say...
bank my movement to move forward with Barney?
I'll say, yeah, you can move, you can say that you're going to move alongside Barney towards the captain, I'm assuming. Essentially, you've waded in, you've killed a few soldiers. Ilex used that opportunity to stun a group of soldiers who would kind of dive in and, just take the place of the ones you're killing. So he's kind of holding the line, as it were. He's given you a window where you can cleanly go towards the captain. You've got to get through a few more Thipian soldiers, but you are doing pretty well. So, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. So you're waiting for Barney to move. Well, it's Carilia's turn now. Is Carilia just doing the same thing? Spare the dying? Anything else?
Do the Oseth with fiery swords get bonuses on their attacks?
Yeah, they get bonus damage, although a lot of the fire has been lost now in them hitting them against the Thipians.
Yeah. Can I use minor pyromancy to set some swords back on fire?
So it's not that they have extinguished, it's that the stuff on them that burns has been wiped off.
Okay.
So I'm afraid not.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
I'm sparing the dime. Thank you.
Sure. I mean, if there was pebble pitch around, you could certainly use that to set it on fire, but it's kind of distributed amongst this place. Right. Okay. So Barney's turn. What's Barney doing?
So I've just rolled 2 attack rolls. I got a crit and a nat 1.
Okay.
So I got a nat 20 and a nat 1.
Okay.
But I'm expending 1 luck point on my nat 1 to re-roll, and I re-rolled and I got 15 plus 5, which is 20, which is an unnatural 20. So
Cool.
I got a nat 20 and an unnatural 20.
Both of them will hit. Do you want to give me some damage as you are trying to cut your way through these soldiers to the captain?
I do. 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Are you rolling the 2 dice
13.
for the crit?
Pardon?
Are you rolling 2 dice for the attack that crit? So you're rolling 3 dice in total.
Yeah. So it's 6, 7, and 9.
Cool. 6, 7, and 9. So that's 22. Are you adding your damage modifier to those?
Yes.
Okay. 22. Cool. You, I'm assuming, move with Kimachet. You move to beside him and you bury your sword into the shoulder of one of these Thipians and pull it back. They bleed, they cry, they're still going, but you've hurt them quite badly. Is Barney doing anything else? Here?
Just... I mean, I don't think there's any cover, so I'm not but
Sure.
Guarding, ready.
They're going to continue to... Okay, it's now some of the Thipian soldiers' turns. A lot of them are going to go for Ilek, who's in the way. There's another nat 1 there if you want to affect it, by the way, Sam. Although that is...
Yeah, let's affect it.
Contemptuous Misfortune does chew up a lot of luck points, so it's up to you whether you want to do it here.
No, it's the last one. It's the last one I'm going to do, but it's maybe the last nat 1 they get. So.
Okay, sure. One of these people goes to swing and slips in the blood, in the mud and the blood. It is slick here. Of course, they're going to hurt themselves, so they take quite a lot of damage, actually. Actually, hold on. Okay, 13. Yeah, I'm going to say the one that Barney, you let forward and slashed, kind of pulls back. You hear kind of barked Thipian shouts, Kill the wizard. This one steps back and goes to swing around to attack Ilek and slips in the blood and similarly catches the elbow, but this time the sword just goes through the neck of this person. They slip and impale themselves. They just kind of collapse on the ground because you managed to do just enough damage to kill that person as well, which is pretty good. Ilek swats away 1 attack, but 1 does hit. He takes a bit of damage, but more importantly, he has to make a concentration saving throw to maintain his flickering light that is holding back these soldiers from refilling the ranks here. On a natural 18 on the dice roll, he is fine. This person comes forward and stabs him with the sword, and he just kind of recoils and just kind of puts a bloody hand against this person's face, and is just kind of gripping it for now. That's them, and then there's attack upon Sethnet Kimachet. So Kimachet, they miss. If you want to riposte, Barney, they do hit Barney on a 19 roll.
Can I parry something that's coming for Barney?
Barney's attack, the attack against Barney hit. The attack against you missed.
No, can I parry the one that was coming for Barney?
Oh, okay. It is a 25 they've got in the attack roll, so I don't think your parry would cut it anyway.
God,
sorry.
Wait 1 sec. I need to check.
What happens if I give him a 19 for a how much is your what?
No, he doesn't roll for a parry. He just reduces it by his proficiency. Yeah, parry wouldn't cut it here. But their attack, even with a 4 on the misfortune, does still manage to hit Barney. Barney takes 8 points of slashing damage from another one of these soldiers.
Okay.
What's Barney looking like, by the way? What's his hit points?
He's doing okay because he's had like multiple
and they missed Seth. They're not rolling very well today.
Like heals.
Mm-hmm.
But he's on 14 now.
Okay. It's Sethnet's turn. He's just going to swing attack one of these guys. He rolled 2 18s, which is rather nice, and deal damage. Sorry, a lot of maths here, everyone. And he does 13 damage to one of these people. I think Keemoshet's doing better than Barney here. He is going to go. He's going to shout, "Come, Dromad! I know you've got more in you than this." He's going to give Barney Bardic Inspiration of a D8. Or, well, it's the rules equivalent of Bardic Inspiration. He's not playing any music, but yeah, that's him. It's Ilek and Ailey's turn. What is Ailey doing?
I'd like to try to conceal Corellia, or
Sure.
provide some kind of barricade.
Give me a stealth or survival. I don't know. Concealing someone else. I'm going to say stealth.
I would prefer survival.
Okay, I'll allow survival then.
I crit.
You crit.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I weave a ghillie suit.
Corellia is clearly, her consciousness is like she knows what's going on, but her focus is elsewhere. But Corellia, you've been kind of at the periphery trying to help people. Ailey fully pulls you back, so you're away from the front lines now. You can't spare the dying anymore. She places you in a corner and just kind of with like clay dust and soot kind of scatters it over you and just kind of almost scrubs you into camouflage against the clay walls of Behel. You think she'd be fairly hard to notice now. Ailey doing anything else? Okay. Ilek is...
Is that my action?
I mean, I'm going to say it would be unless there's something else you want to do that would be kind of a small action.
Then I lurk.
A lurk. Okay, cool. I'll allow you to make a stealth check as well for yourself if you want.
That would be good. That's a 10.
Okay. Not so good. There's not really, now you've put Corellia in this corner, there's not that many places to hide around here.
If she's well concealed, I might consider returning to the battle.
You think she's as well concealed as she possibly could be. Cool. On Ilek's turn, he's mainly just maintaining his hypnotic pattern, holding these soldiers back. One of them has come forward and thrust their sword through him. He basically grabs this person's head. And I'm going to say Barnlect and Keemoshet and Sethnet are too distracted with the foes in front of them to see what happens, but you hear the kind of horrible, sizzling, popping bang, this kind of half explosion, half the sound of something suddenly flash frying, and look around to see. He's going to make an attack roll. Let's see if this actually hits. Just gets the right amount to hit. Now he's got to roll damage. Sorry about this. Okay, that's a lot of d10s. Ooh. 17, 18, 27, 34. Okay, cool. You saw Ilek get stabbed and kind of almost laughing, but his hand on this person's place. You hear this bang, this pop, this sizzle, and look round, and you see the Thippian. Their head has become partially melted. The iron of their helm is melting into this partially caved in and popping and bursting and liquefying face of this person. And Ilek's arm has become kind of rent down the middle. The flesh is kind of opened up like a flower, and you catch the glimpse of some chrome thing inside that has discharged this energy into this person's head. Ilek's arm begins to knit itself together, but he has essentially blasted open his arm, and the thing inside has flash fried the person's face. killing them.
Like a hidden arm gun, or he's
Yes.
like overloaded some piece of device?
No, there is something inside his arm that is now gone through his arm to blast this person.
Ugh.
That is
Damn.
Flecks of golden blood fly in the night as his arm is kind of peeled in two, but begins to slowly, you see strands of flesh begins
That's
to
really
slowly
high
put it back
level
together.
design for your weapons, right? Built inside your body.
Yeah. Well, I will say this is the same arm that extended and had that leap of electricity that triggered Ailey's mage armor. So perhaps there's some connection there. It's now the remaining Thippians. There's quite a few of them dead though. So I'm going to roll and get Illic is kind of terrifying at this moment. Yeah, they're quite scared of him. Okay, 2 attacks against Keemachet. It's another natural 1. The other one will hit Keemachet. Keemachet already used his reaction, didn't he?
no, I did not.
Oh, well, it's an 18 to hit you.
Oh, I'm parrying that.
Okay, you managed to, this blow that would have been quite hefty and got you in the neck, you managed to swat out the way just in time. Attacks against Barney. Oh, wow. Barney's AC is 15, right? Yeah, one of these reduced by 3 misses. These attacks swing at you, and just by the hair of a dog, these things miss you. That's not the right saying. And the final... Oh, no, it isn't. Jesus, they're getting massacred, these people. Okay. It goes back to Keemachet's turn. What's Keemachet doing? The captain is now fairly close to you. Nearby.
Is he, like,
there's
within reach?
There's basically 4 soldiers between you and him. You could weave through them to get to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna weave through them and try and like attack him, but with an aim to not kill him, to like subdue him enough that I can drag him back to Barney.
Sure. Okay, you're going to take some attacks of opportunity if you move through these soldiers to get to the captain. Then.
Yes, but I'm also going to use my evasive footwork thing,
Oh, nice.
which
But
is
it's hair of a frog, or a frog's hair is the same.
no,
I was
it's
thinking
a
of not
head's
dog.
breadth.
Head's breadth,
not
but also
hair of-
no. It is a frog's hair is a thing because it doesn't exist. That's the whole point.
Hair of a frog is not
Frog's
okay,
hair. No, honestly,
no.
honest to God.
Hair of the dog. Hair of the dog.
No,
is when
I
you
know,
drink-
I know, Harry. But by a frog's hair is actually a saying.
Okay, fine.
Regardless,
maybe
regardless.
France or somewhere.
Oh, you're tearing this family apart.
I am adding an 8 to my AC.
Okay, awesome. Attacks
That
opportunity.
is 17, 25 AC. So I'll take those apart from opportunities. Thank you very much.
18 AC. Okay. Yeah, you see Keemachet flow through, just blocking and moving out of the way of all these blows. You get next to the captain. You draw up close. He looks you in the eyes. Bone-clad dog. What is it you do?
I'm just going to try and hit him twice. I'm going to make 2 attacks. Unless, I mean, do we think I should try and like... my understanding is that it's got to be Barney that touches him.
Well, this is the thing. Corellia specified Barney. You could, because you still have her enhance ability upon you. But I don't think Corellia conveyed that information. So, but look, are you grabbing him or are you attacking him?
I'm probably attacking him.
You're in the midst of soldiers. You don't think you can kill him to do this, by the way. But you're in the midst of 8 soldiers. So, just like knocking him unconscious might do you no damage. You might think it's better to grab him and try to pull him out of this. Up to you.
Tackle him? Can I like tackle him out?
Well, you can grapple him and pull him.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
I don't know how to do grapples.
So you make an athletics check against his athletics.
Oh, cool. My athletics is +6.
Nice.
And I rolled a 19.
Sure. You grab onto this person. You grab, I'm going to say, your pauldrons. Corellia, you feel a connection established, as it were, with this person. You did specify, Barney, you might feel more affinity with him, but your spell is still upon Kimoshet. You think you might have access at this point for however long it lasts. That's just something to bear in mind. I mean, we'll get to it on your turn. But yeah, so is Kimoshet grabbing this person and then dragging them back? You can't pull them far. You're still going to be essentially flanked by 4 soldiers at once when you do this.
Can I throw them back to Barney?
No, you can't. You can't push him. That's a separate thing.
Yeah, I'm dragging them back.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna take the hits when I walk back through those. No.
Sure. Well, they only get the 1 attack of opportunity against you, but you are now like surrounded, so they may all attack you at once. But you grab this person, they start pulling you. He cries out, "Carillia, it is your turn." You don't know if for how long Kimoshet's going to have a hand on this person, but you have, you think maybe some kind of connection to Mosaic's telepathic web.
I'm so afraid there's so many things I want to do and I'm not sure which one's the right decision.
Okay.
Alright. Can I use his mind to try and infect the web?
I'm going to just say intuitively you think you need to kind of get to the center of it. You can't kind of, to use like hackers, terms from the Hackers movie, you can't own the system from just a terminal. You need to get into the network. You need to kind of go to the source before you can start to like tamper with this. Right now, this is just an opening in the wall. You need to charge through it if you want to.
Okay, can I leapfrog from his mind to one closer to Mosaic, or even?
Give me
higher?
a psychic check.
Okie dokie, I will. D20. Ooh, that's not good. That's an 11.
An 11.
But I might use inspiration to.
Okay, 11 isn't great. I will say that much.
Yeah, I'm going to use inspiration.
Sure, give me the reroll.
I fucking hate inspiration. I got 11 again. Why is inspiration not advantage? Inspiration sucks.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault.
Okay, you begin to probe into this thing. There is a certain amount of natural offense, but as Kimoshet is keeping his hands on this person, you are slowly, it's almost like crawling through a tunnel, but in your mind, beginning to get your way in. You're not quite there yet, but you can feel you're prying open a path towards Mosaic. And now she's going to... Oh, can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Yes, I can. I don't want to, but I can. That's a 19.
A 19. Okay, that's cool. You don't think Mosaic senses what you're doing.
Okay.
That's you. Barney, it is your turn.
Okay, I've got I've rolled my attacks plus all of the stuff.
Good for you. I'm not going to repeatedly do this, but you can have inspiration for doing everything ahead of time. Good for you, man. Makes everything quicker.
I got 22 and 25.
Brilliant. Both hit.
And so then that is and 7-11.
7 and 11.
Popular American store.
You wound further one that was already wounded. Actually, 7 and 11.
And I would.
Oh no, actually no. You wound one who's already wounded. They're looking close to the edge of death. What are you doing? You can see Kimoshet's pulling this person.
I'd kind of like to sidle my way through. I know that I've got like attacks of opportunity, but if I can see any spaces in which I can just stay where I am, Harry.
I mean, you're in the throng of it. You are flanked by Thippian soldiers who are only really held back by other Oseth. If that's
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll just try and hide.
Are you going to try to hide? You can make a stealth check, or is that you just passing your turn?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if I can, I'm trying to stay out of trouble so that I can hold on to this guy for as long as possible because I know that I'm starting to.
You haven't grabbed him yet, to be clear. It's Kimoshet who's grabbed him.
No, I know. So I'm trying to stay out of trouble until.
Well, I mean, you're kind of in the thick of it, but sure, I'll take that into consideration. I mean, most of these guys are going to attack Kimoshet, who is grabbing their captain for some nefarious purpose and pulling him vaguely towards the wizard. That's not going to... I've got 2 6s. I'm rolling so bad. One of them got a 21 against you. Do you...
I can't do anything about that.
I don't think... Yeah, you can't quite parry it, I'm afraid. So you take a further 11 points of slashing damage. What's Kimoshet on in terms of hit points, by the way?
Oh, no, that's going to take me down all the way to 25.
Oh, no.
That's almost Ailey's health.
One swings for Sethnet and hits him.
You've got one whole Ailey left.
Sethnet takes a fairly fair swing. Someone swings at him and he just barely moves and kind of a split is cut just below his cheekbone. Blood begins to run down the side of his face. This bright crimson in the night. That's them. It's Sethnet's turn. He's going to retaliate. We've got a natural 1 and a 6. He swings a sword. Nothing happens. It's Ilek and Ailey's turn. What's Ailey doing?
I think Ailey concludes that if she can't hide well, she's more likely to reveal Corellia's location by being nearby. So she kind of gives Corellia a sort of a gentle pat, and then it goes back, sort of pads off back to the battlefield.
Sure. Are you doing anything at the battlefield? Sam's face is melting, by the way. I like this quite a lot.
Oh, it's quite horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's back. There we go.
Are there low buildings I can climb?
The buildings here are only kind of generally 1 or 2 stories, so yeah, you can climb up them. Generally 2 stories though, but there's windows you can get purchasing fairly easily.
Is that a check or do I just?
Yeah, it's an athletics check to climb.
Okay, an athletics check. I can't use acrobatics. I am cat-like.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Meow.
So I rolled a 2 on the die, which means basically I can't succeed.
Got inspiration if you want to spend
I think
that.
maybe I try to reach up and I'm like, oh, I'm very small. I can't reach the handles.
You're not burning your inspiration on it or anything.
Do you know what? Why not? I'll burn my inspiration on it.
Live in little grace.
That's a 13 plus my acrobatics is 14.
14. Okay, I'm going to say you begin to kind of like... You get a grip up. You're not quite at the top yet, but you've got a hand on the rooftop itself. These are just kind of flat-roofed things. Getting a bit of the ways up, I'm going to say you're climbing kind of the corner of the building. You can see a bit over the battle. You see that kind of bodies are piling up. It's becoming a crush, but you are cutting into the Thippians. As I say, there are intermittently these flashes of light from the top of the tower at the centre of Behel, although they haven't... The last one hasn't appeared for a bit of a while that have been cutting into the troops. You briefly catch kind of glimpses of the Behel soldiers fighting on the other side. There's quite a bit fewer of those than there are Oseth. And I'm going to say also higher up you can kind of see fires have been lit across the city of Behel. Actually, you can give me a perception check here as well.
Perception. 15.
15, okay. You don't notice anything beyond what I've described. Assuming that's Ailey's turn.
Can I speak to my staff while I climb?
Sure. I mean, are you saying words out loud or?
No. Can I begin a mantra?
Oh, yeah. I mean, climbing might get in the way with it. I'd have it that the wisdom saving throw is on a disadvantage while you're climbing because you're like grunting to pull yourself up and so on. But you can start if you want.
That's fair. I suppose if the words need to be clear, then I will hold off.
Okay. Cool. Well, in that case, then it's more of the Thippians' turns. 2 of them attack Kimoshet. They've got a 22 and a 17 to hit. I think you already used parry once, didn't you, though, Harry?
I don't know. Is it like still? Wait, when did I use parry? I don't think I did use parry.
I think you used parry the last time they attacked you, but maybe not.
No, I didn't. I took the hit on the 21.
You can parry one of these then.
Did others miss? Can I riposte? No, I'm just going to parry.
One miss. There's one miss attack, and there's 2 hitting attacks. Cool.
Yeah, I'll parry one.
You take a further 9 points of slashing damage as they are kind of attacking you, trying to get your captain off them.
Already, I am regretting not beginning my mantra.
One swings for Barney, gets a 16 versus AC. Oh no, it doesn't. It gets lowered by tragically 1 to a 15, which will still hit, I believe. Sam.
Oh, balls, yeah.
You take 6 points of slashing damage. Another one cuts you, nicks you on the hand that is still there. That's them. Kimachet, it's your turn. You are pulling this captain, and you've got 2 soldiers trying to kind of essentially cut you down to pull you away from him.
Give me a sec. Sorry. Second wind. Oh, it's a bonus action.
Yeah,
Okay,
you do second wind.
That's good. I'm not going to do that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Can I evasive footwork again and run back to Barney?
Okay, are you keeping track of how many of these?
Yeah, I've used
cool.
2.
All right, sure. Give me the roll for the defense.
So the roll is... Wait, that was a D10 that I crit on, but it's not a D10, it's a D8. God damn it.
Sorry, mate. You got an 8?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that buffs you to a 25, which is annoying.
Woo!
Yeah, none of the attacks hit. Again, you just kind of move. I mean, actually, I'm going to say give me an athletics on... give me an athletics check here as you're trying to pull the captain with you.
Ooh. I think my luck.
I change it and give him a nat 20. Will he damage the captain as well?
He can do what he likes. I mean, he can basically move through using the captain as a shield to prevent them from hitting him if he wants. But you can change the dice here, I will say, to a 19 or 20.
What is your dice, Harry?
It's a 3.
Yeah, I'm going to change it to the nat 20 because I think that's.
No, give me a 19
really
because I have +6. Give me a 19.
Okay, yeah, you get
Sure.
19.
You go. The captain, you see, you're holding him by the pauldron as well while you're kind of swinging your sword around to pull him. He goes to undo the clasp on it, and for a moment you think he's just going to basically pull the pauldron off and you're going to just be holding a plate of metal in his hand. But then he kind of jiggles it and the clasp is caught. He can't get this thing to come off, and you manage to wrench him back and pull him through these soldiers who go to raise their swords and then can't descend them upon you. Very nice. That's you. Karillia, it's your turn again. Kimachet still has a connection to this person.
How close to Barney have I got?
You're next to Barney now, I'm going to say at this point. You're pulling him back.
Can I still think Barney has to touch him.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Put your hands on that man.
And
Sure, you can extend your stump and
Oops.
bump him in the face if you wish.
but I'll do that on my turn.
Regardless, Karillia, Shannon, it's Carillia's turn. What she's doing? What is she doing?
Making my way down the web.
Okay,
Ooh,
give me
I'm
another
starting
psychic check.
Down the web. Okay, let's hope I don't get 11. I didn't! 24.
24, very nice. Okay. Here in a quiet corner, while you see bodies rush past you in the street and you hear the sounds and you feel death and violence and anger and suffering, you just focus at the task at hand, your mind shielded with cold thoughts, and you crack your way into the web, and the world around you just melts away. For a moment, you are in darkness before you feel yourself break through something. Ceramic scatters as you burst through a mosaic floor into a hallway. Unlike the garden of Alaz, this place is half-formed. Like a memory, only what's important has detail. Looking down, you see this mosaic floor you have broken through is alive. Chips of coloured ceramic flow past one another like currents in a river, forming rows upon rows of living portraits of Thype soldiers. Thin lines of Technicolor diamond-cut chips lead from each portrait down the hallway like the ends of roots, and all of them lead to the seeded form of Mosaic, her palm pressed to the ground before her. The diamond-shaped tattoos on her arm flow between her and this realm, her Technicolor transmissions suggesting the transformation or the transference of information. She kind of, as you burst through this floor and you look down, you see you have shattered through the portrait of this Thype captain. You have essentially climbed into this place through. Beneath is just a hole into the abyss. She looks up and locks eyes with you, and speaks and goes, "You. I should have known your actions didn't come from a place of charity. You disgusting little jungle dweller. You may have encroached upon my domain, but you cannot survive here." She pulls up her hand, and the kind of lines of Mosaic chips flow with her like some kind of extended whip. She's going to roll initiative now as you fight her in the astral plane. She got quite a good roll there.
This is wicked.
Nope. Shut up, Sam. Nope. I'm not qualified to do this alone.
All right.
I like D&D for the teamwork.
That's Corellia's turn. In the real, Barney, it is your turn.
Okay, I want to jump on the captain.
You jump on him. Okay. That might.
Is he on the floor?
No. He's just being pulled back by Keemoshet. You can restrain him further if you want, or pull. You can help grab him and pull him back further into the Oseth lines. Up to you.
I want to like grab him and start pulling him back. But like as I do that, am I able to like butt him on the side of the head with the hilt of my sword?
You can attack him. Yeah, try to knock him unconscious if you want. Sure.
Yeah, I'll do that. Is that an attack roll?
Yeah. Give me attack rolls on advantage. I'm going to say because Keemoshet is doing very well at grabbing this guy and pulling him around.
Excellent. So I got 23.
Okay, cool. You're making 2 attacks, right? Or are you attacking another one of these Thippian soldiers attacking you as well in between, whacking this guy inside the head?
Yeah. I'll roll another.
Okay, for the sake of expediency, I've rolled the damage for you against this guy. You've got to hit him in the side of the head. His helmet gets knocked to the side slightly. Swing against one of these soldiers as well.
Yeah, I got a nat 1, but I'm going to burn my inspiration for it.
Sure.
And then instead, I got 22.
20 hits. Give me some damage.
That is 8, 11.
11 damage. Very nice. Okay, you wound one of these people who's been already wounded. They are like a hair's breadth from death. Is that an appropriate hair metaphor for you, Harry? Brilliant. That's Barney, unless Barney's doing anything else. Okay.
Just grab onto the captain and start yanking him back as well.
Okay, these guys are going to attack Ilek. One misses, the other one hits him, takes more damage. He's got to make a constant. Okay. You see another one of these legionnaires comes forward, swings his sword at Ilek's face. He kind of pulls back, but it catches him, slashes him, kind of jokers his face for a brief moment. You catch that kind of glinting smile and this gold blood pooling around the teeth before the wound begins to just stitch itself up. They attack Sethnet because he's kind of in front now. One of those is going to hit. Sethnet takes a fairly decent blow. One of these guys cracks the butt of his sword against Sethnet's side. He staggers back in pain, reeling. Another blow could finish him off here. That's them. That's the end of their turn. Sethnet is going to pull back. He's going to use his action to disengage, swatting away these blows, and begin to move back to just behind Keemoshet and Barnlect, and he's going to shout back to the Oseth behind you. We need this captain alive and captured. Do not harm him. That's him. Going to move back. Lastly, he's going to put a hand on Kimoshet's shoulder and say, I did right by choosing you to lead us. He's going to give you Bardic Inspiration of a D8, which I don't think you've burned yours yet, Sam. So that's that. That's him. It's now Ilek and Ailey's turn. Grace, you want to give me another acrobatics check or athletics as Ailey climbs up?
That's a dirty 20 to climb.
Nice. You shimmy onto the roof and crouch down. You see the battlefield before you. What is Ailey doing?
I'm thinking I'm going to begin to sing a mantra of the storm.
Okay, cool. Give me your first check then.
First check is an 11,
Cool.
which is just enough.
Cool. It is just enough. It's Ilek's turn now. He is going to... Okay, yeah, a guy stabbed him, so... Oh, he misses. That's a shame. All right. You see, whips. He has had this strange whip made of chrome cylinders. He whips it at this person, and they manage to jump out the way as it whips across the ground. Although those of you looking, will briefly see these kind of slightly translucent, clear tendrils come out and then retract back in from the end as he whips this thing. But you don't know what they do because he doesn't get a chance to hit, unfortunately. That's him. It's the Thippians again. But they're running out of a chance here. Okay, I'm just going to do... let's see. Both of them miss Barney, just barely with a very lucky, unfortunate one roll. And 2 attacks against Kimoshet. That's a 20 and a 17 to hit Kimoshet. I assume Kimoshet parries one?
Do I have my parry?
I
can't remember when my go was.
No, you do, because your go was a moment ago. You have your parry. I'm going to say you parry one, just for the sake of expediency. You only take 4 points of slashing damage, a very shallow blow against you. That's them. Kimoshet, it's your turn. I'm going to say if you give me a good enough athletics check, you could fully drag this captain behind the lines of the Oseth at this point.
Is this on advantage because I'm helping?
I mean, Barney, you socked this person in the face and then swung a sword at someone. We haven't really established that I don't think you've grabbed and pulled this person. You have to use your action to give him the help action, I think, here. I'm afraid. But anyway, Harry, what is Kimoshet's...
Am I going to have to go past people to do that?
You won't be taking any attacks of opportunity.
Oh, sick. Okay, well, I'm going to try and do that.
I'm going to say that the 25...
How does Bardic Inspiration work? Do I just roll it and add it?
You can add a d8 if you want, and you can do it after the roll.
Okay. 9 plus 6 is 15. Is it worth adding it?
I would say so, yes.
I'm going to do it.
You need a good drag to get him past the lines here.
6.
6, so 21
15.
in total. Yeah, okay. With Sethnet's words spurring you on, you kind of just, tense your muscles and drag this person past. You bark a few orders, and Oseth knights and militia begin to fill in front of you, as I'm going to say you and Barney and Sethnet fall behind the front lines. At this point, we're going to focus on the battle between Mosaic and Carillia.
Daddy Sethnet noticed me.
He did.
Go for a quick wee whilst this is happening.
Shannon, can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. Can I have it on advantage from my birthday? Or because I got a haircut?
I already gave you inspiration for your birthday, so I'm going to say
the
no,
haircut,
tragically. Sorry, it's good, but it's not I wouldn't say it's a wise haircut. It's more of a charismatic haircut, so...
Okay.
So Liam, you agree advantage on the next charisma throw?
Oh, shit. You've got me there.
That's one whole 11. My dice seems to like 11s today.
Oh, dear.
I don't like 11s.
Okay. Got to roll some dice here. That's Not very good. That's 9 points of psychic damage. Corelia, you see Mosaic pulls back these Technicolor shards of ceramic, and they coalesce together into a single large diamond knife that just with a hand gesture flies and fully thuds into your chest where your heart should be. You feel this thing pierce you and puncture you, and you kind of have a moment where you look down and think like, oh fuck, my heart just got pierced, I'm going to die. Corelia, I shouldn't have said the damage there. You have a large thing embedded in your chest. It's punctured your heart. You are summarily going to bleed to death and die. What is Corelia doing?
Is this a point where you can just like believe that the knife isn't there?
Shh, Grace. What is Corelia doing? Sorry.
Corelia is far more concerned. You know, her life is nothing. She's got all the lives of the OSEC depending on her and her friends. So fuck this tiny little knife in her heart.
Sure.
She's gonna look down to the river of thoughts beneath her.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna plunge her hand into it with like the same confidence you plunge your hand into a stream. Like
Sure.
It's gonna go in, and she wants to just flood it with feelings and thoughts. Super mundane, you know. I like cheese. The number 7 is great. Here's the memory of my first kiss. Just
sure. Pure feeling. Can you give me a charisma saving throw? And
an advantage because of the haircut.
Well, I will say no. Because that description was really good, and I'm really pleased with it. It was really creative. But let's, also because of the haircut, you can have advantage on this.
Okay, charisma. Did you say saving throw?
Saving throw.
Yoki dokie.
You're making a saving throw to establish yourself within this psychic realm.
Are you going to make them all feel what it was like to be broken up with by Seth now? that would really feel like a moment.
Oh, that was a 19 plus 7. 19
Awesome.
plus 7, 26.
You puncture your hand. Mosaic shatters around you, not the person, but the design here, and you reach inside and into the void and pour yourself in, and you grab something inside and pull up, and it is a root. And this place begins to buck and shatter as roots, your jungle home, begin to burst into the mosaic and establish themselves in this place. And you feel that you can use your magic here just as Mosaic can use hers. This is no longer her domain. This is contested ground for you to fight over. What is Corelia doing?
I don't know if I can do this. This is, surrounded by trees and plants and such. Can I draw their strength into me to regain some hit points?
Absolutely, yeah. What are you casting Cure Wounds on yourself?
Cure Wounds? Yeah, let's go Cure Wounds. Okay.
Let's go cure some wounds.
These wounds within my heart. It's 1, 8. I'm sorry, dice are so scary. That was a D10. I'm failing. It was a D8.
Come on, Shannon.
I'm sorry. I'm panicked. I'm stressed. I found a D8. Okay. That was an 8 plus 12. 12 hit points back for me.
Sure. You grab this root and
Plus
holding
the spell
onto
level
it.
because of my 13.
13.
13 hit points.
Strength flows into you as you establish yourself in this psychic domain. Mosaic is going to maintain her attack. We're just going to go turn for turn, trading blows here.
Okay.
That's a bit better. That's 15 points of psychic damage. The diamond within you begins to swirl around and just kind of churns up your form, but it isn't blood now. As it cuts into you, it's like rending open a tree. There is earth and roots and flower within you as this thing tears open. And while you are harmed psychically, you are not gone from this place at all. What are you doing?
I want to use one of the roots to pierce through her like my dagger did, and go for a bit of siphoning touch. Siphoning?
Sure,
Take her
absolutely.
touch.
That's a spell attack roll, isn't it?
Yep. What's a spell attack roll?
Just make an attack and add your charisma and proficiency, which I believe is +7 for you.
Okay, thank you. Dice. I'm so panicked right now. Okay, that's an 18.
That's an 18. That will hit her. So you want to roll damage.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I will say Barney, even though he's not aware of any of this happening, does have his luck has presence here.
Okay.
In case there's any shenanigans you want to do with your golden path.
I've only got one golden path left, and it's a beauty, Shannon.
I want to save it.
15,
Save the best till last.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to use stem the life flow as well.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a con save.
Oh my God. She's not good at these. Oh, what's your DC?
I don't know.
It should be on your spell page, Shannon.
It'll be
It's
if your bonus is 7.
It'll be 15. It'll be 15. Unfortunately, she got a 17, so it doesn't quite work. But how much damage do you do to her?
6, 15 damage.
15. Okay. You holding onto this root, channel yourself through them, and further roots and plants burst through the cream stone walls of this place and just thud into her like spears. She kind of screams in pain, still alive. It's her turn. She's quickly running out of spells here. What's she going to do? Okay, she... Yeah, can you make a wisdom saving throw?
That is not good. I got a 4 plus whatever. It's going to be a fail.
A 4. Okay, a fail. She is casting Hold Person on you here.
No, not this shit again, man. Not this shit.
Okay. So yeah, she's going to cast Hold Person. On that, you are going to fail, unless Sam's doing anything.
Shannon, when's a good time to do this? Do you want it now to keep going?
What is it? Is it a 20?
It's a nat 20.
Save it. Save
Okay.
it.
Okay. This diamond that is rending you kind of comes out of you and fractures into thousands of pieces that then kind of plant onto your form and try to bind you down. You cannot move. It's your turn. Given that you're paralyzed, you can't do anything here within the realm. Can you give me a wisdom
I can't do
saving?
anything physically. Can I do stuff mentally?
It is one and the same here. She is binding your mind into position, but you can give me a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn to try to break free.
Okay. 15?
15. God damn. Okay. It binds you down for a moment, and you just kind of fully shatter it off your body. That's very annoying.
Thank God.
Oh, it's her
We
turn.
didn't use the nat 20.
She's in trouble here. Okay. She's going to use Dissonant Whispers because she's running out of spell slots.
Oh no.
Just quickly look this up. Can you make a wisdom saving throw again, please?
20.
20. Okay, you resist. So I think you only take half, right? Or not?
I think half. I think.
Yeah, you take half. All right. That's... You take 5 further points of psychic damage as these shards thud into your head and begin to try to flood your mind with whispers, but you are just dead focused on Mosaic, who has these branches punctured into her form. It's your turn. What are you doing?
I think I want to hold person her back, and I may even use side points to give her disadvantage on that saving throw.
Do you still have Siphoning Touch going? Can I ask? Is that the thing that lasts, or is it the one attack?
That's the thing that goes. I didn't know that just carried on going.
Yeah, it's concentration up to 1 minute.
minute.
You can make an attack every turn with it if you want.
Just keep drinking
gonna...
her.
Okay.
I'm going to make another attack, and I will use Stem the Life Flow again.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay, so that's she has to do a con save.
Yeah, do you want to give me the attack roll first? You have to actually hit.
Oh, yes, I do have to hit. I forgot about that. I got a nat 20. I think I hit.
You got a nat 20, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That means you double the damage on this, so this is 66 necrotic damage you're doing.
Right. 4, 6, 12.
That's horrible.
27.
27, okay, awesome. That is more than her total hit points. You shatter off this hold person. You get up and you just wrench with a single blow. These ceramic tiles fly from your head and get rid of the dissonant whispers. And you just march through this place. And where your footfalls rise, the ground breaks and bursts open as more roots and plants begin to dominate this place. And you walk up and you just, as your arm becomes plants and branches and roots that just burrow into her and dig into her essence and siphon it. Her will shattered, her complete form begins to come apart in this space, forming into this collapsing whirlpool of colour within which you see moments and memories coalesce and break together, and you can see that she is dissipating. At this point, this is a mechanical thing here, but Corellia can graft Mosaic's psychic essence into her own, and you can permanently increase your charisma by 1 if you want at this point.
You know that she do want to do that. Why would I not
so
want to
Shannon,
do that?
in this world of metaphor and abstract, what does it look like when Corellia absorbs Mosaic's power?
I think because it's Mosaic's power, a diamond would glow over my heart and whoop inside it.
Sure. A diamond coalesces on your chest, and this dissipating mist of her sucks in for a moment. Increase your charisma permanently by 1.
Okay.
You turn around and look at this place. With the Esper who created it, it begins to dissipate. At the furthest ends of the hall, ceramic tiles and walls just crumble and wick out of existence. But looking closely, you look down at some of these mosaic portraits before you. Can you give me a intelligence check?
Yes. Corellia is not smart, but I would try. 13.
Nat 20.
13, doesn't matter. You only need
Oh,
a
wait,
10.
wait.
Oh.
Can Sam give me that?
You can give him a nat 20. I'm going to say now it doesn't matter. You only needed above a 10.
Okay.
You look down at the nearest most portraits. All of these, it's fairly easy to notice. All of these faces are, Thippian soldiers over Thippian soldiers. And then there is one beside you who is completely different. A rotund body, a conical head, and a veil across the eyes. And you see this and recall, this person took Alia aside and spoke to her a few weeks ago. You caught the name at the time, Djib the Alchemist. This is supposed to be one of the wizards of Behel, and yet if they are here, if they're connected to Mosaic's realm, they're connected to her mind, sharing information. And as your roots are possessing this place, you give me a psychic check.
Get his ass.
24.
24. Although this place is dissipating, as your roots are binding into it and churning it up, and you see in some places these portraits, the mosaic has burst, and instead it's a portrait formed of flower petals and roots and mushrooms forming a kind of colourful facade. You think you briefly have a chance to influence this place as if you were mosaic. You can tell that orders have gone through, down these lines that Mosaic used, but you can do something similar here and send counter orders or gain information from someone else here, those kind of things. What is Corellia doing?
Sorry guys, I'm really bad at tactics. If this is the wrong decision, I'm so sorry.
I mean, I can help you a bit here if you want. But,
Yeah. I was gonna say,
sorry.
Their forces are stronger than we thought. I think we would do best to retreat. But if that's a dumb thing to say...
No, I mean, that's a decent thing to say. if you were really vicious, you might say something like, "Oh, form up here," or you might try to direct the forces. Forces to coalesce somewhere they can be destroyed easier later on. But you can sound a retreat if you wish. That's certainly something you can do. Do you do anything specifically towards Djib, this person who I'm going to say you think is Holden? This is a person who is supposed to run Behel. Or do you try to gain any information from them?
Gain as much info as possible.
Oh, you could read his mind, but could you be like, come to this place, and then just gank him?
Yeah. I want to tell Djib to come to where all of our little lads are.
Okay, I'm going to say as you connect to Djib, you kind of in turn get information from him, and you get flashes of a hillock, not too close but not too far from Behel. You see a number of Thype camels and Thype soldiers, and you see Mosaic in a tent in a meditative pose, her brow kind of furrowed and sweating, a thin line of blood coming from her nose. You get the sense that there is a gathering place that Djib has been told that's where they're kind of coordinating things from. And if you can tell him to go to this place nearby, outside of Behel, if you wish.
Yeah, I want to tell him that.
You convey those orders, you sound a general retreat to the Thype army, and the dream collapses into nothingness, and you come back into reality.
Absolutely brutal.
Yeah. That was pretty hardcore. Also, hold on one second. I'm going to send this to you at the end of the game, but you also gain the sending spell. You've grafted a part of Mosaic into you, and you are gaining a little bit of her telepathic talent. It's not quite what she could do, but there you go. You come back to the battle. The Oseth and the Behel soldiers notice this kind of sudden ripple of discord come through of the soldiers here, and some of them begin to... things fall into a bit of disarray, and it is a chance that the Oseth certainly alight upon. You are beginning to cut into these soldiers, and it is clear the tide is turning in their favour. Is there anything anyone does specifically to contribute to the fight here?
I'm gonna. We've got them on the run, men.
Sure.
Forward!
You can give me a persuasion check to inspire if you wish. Is Ailey doing anything?
Ailey is...
Oh yeah, you started your Mantra of the Storm, didn't you?
She's probably going to have to decide in 2 turns if she's going to actually do a lightning bolt or not.
I think you've started it. You have to finish it, I believe.
I checked the text. I think I can make a save to try not to.
Oh yeah, you can try to cancel it, and it could be quite bad, I think is how it goes.
The text I have is that if I make 3 successes and I get the save against losing hit points, then cool. I can choose to not cast.
Well, should we do those other checks, those other save to see if you if everything's going wrong for Ailey, or if
so
I would say there's still a body of 5 soldiers
here.
It will
depend on the exact moment, if you know what I mean.
I'm going to say there is a body of Thype soldiers here for you to still attack if you're worried about redirecting it into soldiers on your side. And you've also noticed while you've been up here a few moments of lightning flashing on the Behel side of this fight. So you wouldn't be too out of place, I will say that much.
Yeah. Well, I was planning to cast and then jump off the roof anyway. But,
sure. Okay.
Or not jump, but you know. So yeah. First save is a 10. Does a 10 succeed?
I believe a 10 does succeed. Yes. Final one.
12.
12. All 3 successes. Where are you putting this lightning bolt?
I am going to. Do I sense that they are retreating?
I'm going to say no. The soldiers who are in the crush here between the Oseth and the Behel don't really have anywhere to retreat unless they spill into the streets, but that's going to kill a lot of people.
Well, if there's a body further away, I would like to inhibit and harm any notion of an orderly retreat. Is that possible?
I mean, you can try to zap one of the alleyways to discourage them going down it, if that's what you're asking. You probably think that would be best served to
I might have
soldiers.
misunderstood.
I will say you haven't seen, like, they are not retreating so far as you're aware.
Okay. Then I'll just blast.
To give a bit of a peek behind the veil, there is a confusion at the sound to retreat when, they think they can maybe turn this in their favour if just these bloody soldiers would get down here and help us with this fight.
In that case, I'd like to blast the man who has the biggest hat, who isn't next to one of my allies.
Give me a perception check.
And kind of, sever the leadership.
Give me a yeah.
Is that the ones wearing the big metal hats?
19.
19. Okay. You think maybe kind of you have an idea. I'm going to make a luck check for them. Okay. You send your lightning bolt into this crowd. It zaps through several soldiers who cry in pain. You briefly see their skeletons flashing in the night, At this point, I'm going to have narrative take over. This portion of the battle is won. You are cutting into these people. This lightning bolt has sundered down. Eventually, it gets to a point where the last few Thipians retreat into the back streets or are hewn down by one of the side. And there's a brief moment where the Oseth front line meets the Behel front line. Kemashet, you are here. You see in the dark the kind of suspicion and possible fear of these Behel soldiers who didn't know you were coming here and don't really know if you're fighting on their side or if this is a three-way struggle. Is Kemashet doing anything specifically here?
Greetings, friends! Well fought.
Sethnet will step forward and say, yes, noble soldiers of Behel, we the Oseth are here to fight on your behalf and bring with us a cure to the child plague. Observe, we have the wizard Ilek at our side to aid us. Ilek kind of emerges. You see he just kind of steps out and fully pulls a few swords out of him that kind of clatter the ground, kind of stained with this golden blood of his. He coughs, wipes his lip. I mean, he's been just kind of in the thick of it fighting this entire time. Yes, people of Behel, these noble Oseth have helped us turn the tide. Now we must turn to saving the rest of the city after the majority of their forces are done. The Behel, I'm going to say, I'm going to give Sethnet a persuasion on advantage here. Yeah, he got an 18. He's got decent charisma. The Behel lower their weapons. You people are now, the Behel and the Oseth are now comrades in arms, as it were. They are on the same side of this fight. Not that long after, a couple of seconds, a crackle comes through on the chrome orb that is on Ilek's person. Those of you nearby, Barney, Shannon, has Carilia emerged from the alleyway?
No, I think she would have taken a moment to...
Sure. Barney, Kemashet will hear this, as will Sethnet. As Grace, has Ailey jumped down and joined this?
I think Ailey watches for a bit, and then if it looks like the battle is over, she kind of creeps down.
Well, these people are mustering. I mean, you think there might still be Thipians within the city. I mean, you would, yeah, there's no reason Ailey wouldn't think that. A crackle comes through on Ilek's chrome orb. The voice of Halbush comes out. The enemy has infiltrated the tower. The ship has turned against us. Those who can return to help. We cannot last long. And it is cut short. At this point, we are going to do what I call a gauntlet. There's going to be 3 rounds. Every person does a thing they choose to do to contribute, and they're going to make a roll based on that. You want successes. You don't want failures. You can choose to go into the tower to try to help, or into the city to try to get rid of the Thipian forces still here that are sowing chaos.
Oh boy.
On the first round, assuming what is everyone doing? I'm going to go round Grace. On catching this news, word quickly spreads. Where does Ailey go in terms of this battle? You don't have to join the city or the tower battle. You can leave this place, retreat, any other thing. It's up to you.
I'm interested in the tower.
Okay, you're heading towards the tower. Let's go to Sam. Where are you going?
I too am going to go towards the tower, I think.
Kemashet?
I think I'm going to go to the city. I'm going to lead a dispatch of knights. Can I send some knights up to the tower?
Yes, you can absolutely do that. Yeah.
Like not many, like 5, 10.
Yeah, you can pick them out. Sethnet
with the
turns to
squishy
you.
wizards, and then the rest are coming with me.
Yeah, Sethnet will turn to you and say, "Turn to the defense of the city. This is a chance to protect our new home. I shall head to the tower and aid these wizards." And Shannon, what is Carillia doing?
I think I too will go into the town to help people.
Okay, awesome. So I now know where you're going. I'm going to say this as well. Doing the same thing repeatedly will make the DC you have to beat for it higher and higher. So you want to be creative and diversify what it is you're doing to help here. Grace, what is it Ailey is doing as she rushes into the tower? Ilek shows her the passages through this place.
Are the doors open?
There are doors into this place that are a bit concealed. The main doors are closed, but there are entrances that Ilek quickly finds for you. I'm going to say you're into the tower at this point. What is it Ailey doing? Or you can be outside it doing something. Up to you.
I was going to suggest, are they doors that are technological that I might open by magic?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say you can, if you want. You can give me an Arcana check to try to open up the passage of this place to make passage through it easier for the soldiers.
I do it with my spell.
Sure, but Arcana check to kind of wield it as well as possible. You've got to make some kind of roll.
Sure. I see. Arcana is at +2. I have a 16.
16. Okay, cool. That's you, Sam. What is Barney doing?
I'm going up into the tower with them, but I'm going. And if we come close to a doorway where it sounds like people are, I'm going to stand like beside the door with my sword ready to attack.
Okay, so we're not doing any fights here. Like, it's going to be narratively, you will fight some people in the tower. There's soldiers throughout it. It's more like, you can just give me an attack roll if you want to just say, I'm just joining the fight. Or if you want to give me something more. If you're listening out, you can give me a perception check then, if that's what you want to contribute.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Cool.
Boom. And boom. Perception 17, but then also perception is 19.
19, okay. With keen ears and craned neck, Barney is listening out, finding where these snipe soldiers are. Shannon, what is Carillia doing in the tower?
I'm not in the tower.
Oh, sorry.
I was heading into town. I think right now all she's doing is wherever she sees dying allies, also dying enemies, she's pretty chill.
Okay.
She's just gonna spare the dying everywhere.
Sure. Okay, give me a psychic check.
Okay. That's a 14.
Okay, cool. Can Barney and Ailey give me a separate perception check, please? Actually, no, I'll let Barney have his perception check here. Can Ailey give me one?
On the subject of perceiving, I have a side goal in the tower. If I can find anything technological to pick up during the chaos, I will snaffle it.
Sure. Okay.
Because we're in a wizard's domicile. I'd love to.
Okay, I think you're going to have to specifically try to... Wizards are, jealous hoarders of secrets. You're going to have to seek out specifically their stuff or join the fight.
If I seek, will it not contribute to success?
Yes, absolutely. You will be elsewhere doing other things.
This turn, I will contribute.
I think you have to commit yourself to either. To be honest here, and I will say as well, running off on your own might pose dangers. We'll see. But
yeah, I was thinking about. So in my mind, what I was thinking was like, if we ended up in a wizard's, in a sanctum.
Yeah.
With only some guttering torches and 1 or 2 living soldiers, I might just pick something up.
I was going to say this stuff isn't live around, so you have to either choose now. Do you want to help or do you want to try to steal?
I will help.
Cool.
I'm feeling nice today.
Anyway, what is Ailey's perception check?
Perception. Ailey rolled a 15 for perception.
Okay, cool. There's a moment, you don't really get the chance to think about it, where Barnelect and Ailey run past. You see again these completely robed figures who brought the food and the weapons to Osiro. And you see they hold in their hands these things that have a handle and a trigger and a cylinder to them and a cone at the end. And briefly you fight alongside some of these people who has Nook directed them as Ilek. Nook and Ilek managed to more or less keep themselves apart, so there's not much confusion. You see lightning leaps from these objects on them, but on Ailey's 15. Sam, you said you got a 19 perception. Barney,
19.
Ailey doesn't notice this, but Barney, you do. You see a moment where one of these clothed figures whips this device they've got up and hammers their palm of their other hand on top of this thing, despite no device being there that corresponds to it. And you see a mirror of Zurab's movements on this thing as it whips it up and just hammers on top, like how Zurab used to whip up his gun and hammer on the hammer of that thing. There are 6 of these things here, by the way, these robe figures, I will say. That's what you see. You're fighting with soldiers. So
are we fighting alongside them?
You are fighting briefly. You're fighting alongside them, and then they're elsewhere trying to attack the Thype soldiers, and then you see them again. It's a chaos here. You're kind of going up the tower and going out and about.
Am I close to Ailey?
Ailey's kind of coming and going as well. Actually, I'm going to roll for.
Okay. If as she passes, I'm just going to like put my hand on her shoulder and say, "Did you see what they were doing?"
Ailey, kind of sweating, breathing heavily, looks to you. She's been running around, casting spells, opening these passages.
Like Zurab's. And then that's
Ilek
it. And
is
then
going
just carrying on with the...
run up beside you and grab you by the shoulder, say, "Barney, to me." And as you head away down a hallway and kind of leap into a room, swords drawn, before you get there, he is going to look you dead in the eyes and say, "It is not him, Barney. Focus." He's clocked your noticing of these people. You're fighting your way through Thippian soldiers in this place. They're running around trying to slaughter servitors here. You maybe briefly catch the glimpse of who you think might be a merchant lord, people who are well dressed. That's that. Harry, what are you doing in the city?
I'm making it safe.
Yeah. Okay. How are you doing that? Are you just fighting?
Okay, we're in the city. Can I see enemies? Can I hear?
Yeah, absolutely. You're running amongst the streets. You're directing people. You know, maybe it's tactics. Maybe you're inspiring. Maybe you're giving words of, maybe you're talking to Behel soldiers to patch things up.
I'm going to assume that basically all of the people in the city are in pretty isolated little groups, like bands of like 5 to 10.
Yeah, there's bands of Thippian soldiers running around, like breaking into homes, killing people, setting fires.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I'm gonna like progress through the city, sending off bands of 10 people or so,
sure.
Knights, to go and dispatch things. And like each time, I'm going to be like, ensure that they're like introducing themselves as friends to the locals.
Sure. Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Try and pick up the pace here.
14.
Okay. Your words are kind of, you're panting. You're not giving that clearer directions to the things. You think some of your words carry, but maybe things aren't communicated that well. That is the first round. Second round in the tower. What is it Ailey and Barnelect are doing? Shannon, I'm going to say Carillia is kind of pieced out at this point, more or less. You're going around and curing the sick.
I'm just sticking with Ilek and just fighting.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
My way through, trying to get to the top. 12, 17, 18.
18, very nice. And Grace, what is Ailey doing?
Can I cast Blur on someone who isn't me?
Does it say self or does it say touch?
The range itself, so...
Sorry, no.
I think... and it only pricks me from damage, doesn't it?
I believe so.
In that case, I will support the crew with my arcane blasts. I think that...
Give me a spell attack
in
roll.
corridors and close spaces, I can
awesome.
Be aggressive and suppressing. That's a 9.
That's a 9. Sam, are you doing anything here?
Oh, do you want the nat 20? What are you actually doing, Grace?
I'm just zapping some guys. I don't think it's... I mean...
Okay.
So...
Okay, cool.
Metagaming the process, I think more successes is better.
I'm trying to keep the pace up here, so if you're not doing it, you're not doing it. Harry, what is Keemsha doing in the city?
I mean, I'm continuing to do what I did the last thing.
Okay, then it's going to keep racking up the DC of what you're rolling, and you didn't do that well last time. Are you doing anything else? You've got to diversify what you're doing in order to be effective here. You can say I'm fighting Thipians and just make an attack roll.
Oh, fine. Yes, I'm fighting Thipians. That's fine.
Sure. You join the leadership of these people and attack Thipian roving bands. What do you get?
I'm doing 2.
You just make just make the one attack roll. Just use the first. One. Yeah, this is like a skill check. So just
15.
Cool. All right. You move through the tower, room to room, with Ilek and other Behel and Oseth soldiers fighting off, hunting down and killing the Thipians who have broken into this place. At one point, you burst into a room, this kind of larger chamber. You see on one side, protected by this lattice of glass hexagons, is Tilda Sud, that old woman with very long hair you saw before. Blood kind of running down a cut in her arm. She's incredibly old, but she is, heavy eyes, sweating, continuing to make gestures over this silver orb that appears to maintain this flickering, weakening banner. And on the other side, you see as well Halbouche with lots of cuts and bloody knuckles on him. And a few other, you think some of the merchant lords. You see a tree in a pot that keeps swaying and quivering in fear, and a very tall woman with a sword in her hand that's covered in blood as well. Thipians are trying to break through this barrier. You come in from behind and begin to lay into them. The barrier goes down. Halbouche joins from the side. Just at one point, grabs a guy and probably breaks his neck with a giant meaty hand. That's pretty good. Final round. What are Ailey and Bunlicht doing in the tower?
Give me 2 seconds. I will be back in literally a second.
Grace, what is Ailey doing? Oh, you're muted.
So we've caught them between the defences of the wizards.
That's over. That is just a kind of a little vignette within you going through this place.
Okay, cool. Can I use silent image, so silent illusion, to confuse and disorient our enemies as we hunt them? To
Absolutely.
Make
Give me another Arcana check.
Difficult.
And I'm not ratcheting up the DC because it's a different spell.
With Arcana, it is 17.
17, cool. And Barney?
I'm just trying to get up as high as possible to the tower. I think just trying to like almost like a climbing thing. Just
try and race through as fast as possible. Okay, give me a athletics check then.
Athletics,
yes,
certainly. Okay, that was a nat 1, so I'm going to expend a luck point to re-roll.
Sure.
And that's a 17.
17, cool.
Which is cool.
And final round, Harry.
But then, hold on. Okay. That will be more because I've got...
you need to beat a 15. So, Harry, what's the final round of what Keemshet is doing in the city?
I'm going to still fight... what's it called?
Sure. They'll give me another attack roll. The DC's going to be higher this time.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Oof. Okay then.
Oh dear.
Could go badly.
1 second. How many hit points does Keemshet have left?
Well, I wanted to say that I would have gone second wind before I did any of this.
Sure, you can say that.
So that's 1d10, which I did actually roll earlier and I didn't tell you. Wait, it's 1d10 plus something, isn't
plus
it?
5. It's plus 5. It's plus your level.
8 plus 5. 13.
So what's your total hit points?
27.
27. Okay. You take a lot of bad hits, and at one point you almost get killed, if not for a malicious Oseth stepping in to trying to strike, but essentially taking the blow for you. You see, even on the cusp of victory, people on your side die. In the final round of things in the tower, you ascend to the top. Barney, you race to the top. Ilek, not far behind you, you see Thipian soldiers fighting against a woman you recognise as Kobzai, one of the wizards here. She holds in one hand this bow made of scintillating energy. She's got perfectly white hair. she's got severe cuts and wounds against her, but you can see there's a litter of Thipian soldiers who just have like smouldering holes in them across this rooftop, and you manage to get just in time to the top and kill off the ones who would be finishing her off otherwise.
Right.
The battle comes to an end, and eventually the sun rises on a blood-soaked Behel. You did very well in the tower and quite badly in the city overall. None of the... Actually, hold on, I'm just going to roll here quickly. None of the merchant lords or wizards of Behel are dead. Djib has absconded, unless Corelia conveys where he's going to at some point to someone. Which, if you're tending to the injured, I assume you don't. But the city itself has faced a lot of destruction. A lot of homes have been broken into, their families slaughtered, houses set alight. Corelia's sounding of the retreat mitigated the damage somewhat, but the city of Behel has unquestionably suffered this night.
I thought Shannon did send a message of where Djib was going. I thought that was part of finding out his location.
She sent a... Well, my understanding was that Corelia sent a message to Djib telling him to retreat to a space.
Yeah.
But I don't believe you told any individual here.
I thought you did.
I
I
don't...
thought he told to make the command to retreat.
Yeah, I don't believe that Corelia did. And if she didn't, then Djib's treachery is known, but he has fled, possibly with his life, unless he has been killed by his new friends, shall we say. In the summation of the conflict, Sam, I've got to roll a few dice for you now.
Oh no.
Corelia, you later learn that I rolled a 6 on luck for Fabat, who doesn't have much luck because the city didn't do very well. Fabat has died, unless Sam is interceding here.
I am going to give my natural 20
To Fabat.
to
Okay,
Fabat.
sure.
Yeah, baby.
Fabat has excelled and defined himself in this battle. And who knows, perhaps a promotion will be in his future soon. At one point, Barney, as you're kind of out there exhausted, and Ilek kind of slumps down next to you, you see that the gold that's kind of filled his veins has retreated. Or his clothes are kind of stained with this gold liquid that was his blood. He sits and exhausted. And there's a point where you kind of look over and you see amongst a group of a few bodies, the body of a slain fence. Amongst them, who you may recall, the son of Hector.
Oh yeah, he was a dick.
Thankfully, you learn that Amy is still alive. I think this is a character we haven't met yet. And that Hector caught the Shale Plague, but recovered very quickly. You got a natural 20 there. So there we go. A leader of the Thipian forces is caught. A older Thipian with an eye patch and a bit of a distinct accent, who Ailey and Corelia saw previously, who is caught, tortured in the obscure methods only the wizards know, and is sealed away in some dread place, not seen again. While Ilek has sat down next to you, Barney, and you're just kind of there, exhausted, the weight of both this occasion and just the exertion upon you, he turns to you and speaks and says, "This is difficult, Barney, but we should make preparations to leave as soon as possible. Sood has survived, which means that I cannot stay here for long. They may seek out and arrest me at any moment if the mood takes them. It will be hard for some of them to not look out upon this and think that ultimately I am responsible. I am, in a certain way."
Okay. Are we taking the gang coming, or is it just us?
Corelia, I don't know. Ailey, I have a task for her to the
I
west.
am, unfortunately, in this city, a wizard's apprentice.
I have a task for Ailey to the west. So Ailey and Karelia and Kimoshet are not here right now. But you and I must go east.
Did you hear that?
Kind of gesturing around to the battle. This is just a precursor. This is an initial force to simply clear the way for something much larger. And that is still coming. We must seek out allies. You understand?
I understand.
It's my understanding that Moda Rayfort is not here. She must have already left for Thype some time ago. And if my suspicions are correct, has taken Locks with her. Moda Rayfort did not strike me as someone who would discard curiosities, and Locks is uniquely curious. My intention is to free Locks from whatever Thippian chains hold her, and after that, I hope lead us to her people. And I need you to come with me.
That is very much my intention too.
Brilliant. If you could try to just procure us some pack animals in this chaos, we will need to cross the Salt Desert Sea. I have a few things to tend to. You should make peace with your situation here, and then get ready. Kind of walks away to go take care of things.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Is there anything specific Ailey or Kimoshet or Karelia is doing?
Do I know that Barney's leaving yet?
No, not at all. There's a point.
What's the time frame? Is this minutes after, days after?
No, this is it's just dawning on Behel. The sun is just beginning to illuminate.
Time to prowl through the wreckage and look for trinkets?
Absolutely. Give me of the tower.
Yeah.
Give me an investigate and then an arcana.
The investigate is a 15.
Okay.
And the arcana is a 16.
Is a 16. Okay. Very well. I'm going to say at some point you find in a corridor what at first appears to be kind of an unassuming tube of chrome, but looking down it has a small kind of handle and trigger to it, and a little syringe that curiously doesn't end in a needle point, but just a kind of a rounded beveled end you find, and pick it up and just, calmly slip it into your robes and walk away.
Up my voluminous sleeve.
Yes, I think you think this might have been dropped someone in a hurry. You don't crack open any wizard's trove. They appear to be fairly well hidden in this place.
Well, it's all I was hoping for is, something a wizard might...
A bit of loot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something valuable to a minor monk, but a wizard might miss.
You kind of slightly nervously jump as you round a corner, and an arm reaches out and grabs yours. You see Ilek. Ailey, we need to talk rather quickly. I'm not going to be sticking around in the tower for too long.
You are unpopular here.
Yes, you've picked up on the situation. I am going to be
in the city.
heading away for quite some time. An entire season, I suspect. And I have my first true task for you as my apprentice. He pulls out an object. It is a disc of... it's almost like a mirror. You can look in the back. It's slightly distorted, but you can see your face in it, and it is held by a little chrome bracket. He extends this. Do you recall the silver spiders, Ailey, beneath the stone on our way to Wraithreach?
I do.
Behel and Alekvazi require allies in the conflict that is to come. You understand, as well as I do, this is merely just a preliminary brush against Thype. And my intention...
There is more than one half-legion.
My intention is to raise the very servants of the Eaters themselves to join us in the battle proper. This contains, indicating this disc, what I have managed to study in Behel so far of those strange buried things. you must make your way to Udrint, to the west, towards the sacred city, and the ziggurat of Nusku that is there.
Risen from the earth. No, not that direction. Excuse me.
Yeah, so the sunken city that rose from the earth is to the west.
Oh, it's
next to Udrint, practically. But the ziggurat itself is a temple that stood in Udrint for a very long time, you all know.
Okay.
Study the orb and the ring, and then in time, study this too. It contains what I have so far managed to divine, but you yourself will have to contribute. It is not a wizard's way to have the path walked for them. They must walk it themselves. You understand?
I have chosen a master not lacking in ambition.
No wizard should.
Just so.
I must make my way, but and he kind of produces that chrome orb he's had a few times and hands it to you. Hand this to Corellia, and if you could, once she's done with it, just throw it in a field somewhere. I'm sure Halbush will find it again.
You do not want it smashed? For old time's sake?
Far be it for me to tell you what to do with Halbush's things. I think you and he have a bit of a rivalry that perhaps might be healthy in the days to come. Who knows?
I seek only friendship with such a master.
Oh, Ailey. I think I know you a bit better than that. And he is going to part unless he doesn't.
No,
unless you say anything.
As he goes, I take his hand as he tries to go, and I say, Ilek, your body overflows with what, and like, I've done magic today. I'm like, blood. I dearly lack. You have not time, but point me in a direction that I might study.
Your suffering does not come at a cost of your magic, but at your relationship to its source. I offer you an alternative path, free of such hindrances unless you desire them.
And the damage yet done?
Undone in time.
Do not spare me what is so casual for you. Remember that some of us are mortal.
He looks slightly angry for a moment. This is not casual to me, Haley. In time. For now you must learn and temper yourself. Do you understand?
Indeed. I cannot pretend to understand, but I must work with what I have.
Very well. That's all one can truly do. And he begins to walk away, unless you want to grab him again.
As he leaves, I say, do not find your death before I speak to you again.
Oh, nothing will bring me greater pleasure. He departs. Okay. Kemishet, there was a point where you reconvene with Sethnet. Kemishet, how was the defense of the city? Harry, you know it didn't go that well.
Well, it could have gone better.
That is most unfortunate, but we have a chance now at least to help these people rebuild.
Like, normally I'm on like 1 HP right now, aren't I?
You took 23 damage. I mean, I wasn't going to bother with the calculation, but...
yeah. Okay.
Kemishet, I have a strange request of you. I consider you one of my loyalist subjects amongst a very loyal people.
That means the world to me. Thank you.
And your loyalty to me. Corellia is the person I gave my pack knife to, and you know what that means when he says it, coming from Oseth culture.
Yeah.
I think it would be good in the days to come for you to be by her side protecting her. She aided the Oseth people in a time of great weakness, and I believe and hope that she will aid us again, and such kindness should be protected. I will not force this upon you, but I believe this would be good for both you and the Oseth people, because we are, kind of looking around, we are a part of this now. We are a part of this land called Alekvazi, of Behel. And it would stand us well to participate it, not just within the city, but beyond it. We need someone who is further afield to represent us, our nobility, our customs, our strength. I think Carillia is not someone who will be bound to this place for long. And it would be best for you to be beside her side.
I would gladly.
Sorry about that.
If I was to leave, I'd need to ask you to once this city has been rebuilt and the wizards here have reasserted themselves, if you could make every effort to try and seek out in some way, I don't know, send letters, anything, my parents, I'm happy to leave in the hope that I may come across them. But
of course, Kubuset, as the Oseth community has a chance to rebuild, all those who further come from the Gibis jungle shall find their way here. Families will be reunited and reformed, as is the bedrock of the Oseth people.
Well, I think that's fantastic. That's wonderful.
Very well.
I'd be honored to, and I'm not happy to leave. I would stay by your side, but this is an honorable quest. Protecting that poor, helpless little woman. Yes, absolutely.
I would not underestimate her. I sense perhaps that she was most integral to our victory on this day.
Yes.
I have things to attend to, but we have some time within this city. I suspect she's not leaving immediately, but it would be good for you to go find her and explain your situation, should she have you. At this point, you part ways. Sam, while Barney prepares for the journey ahead, is there... I mean,
camel and a hairy lizard.
Sure. I can say that you can encounter Carillia and Ailey and even Kimashet if you want, or Sethnet. Is there anyone you want to go up and talk to before you have to leave?
I'd like to speak to Carillia and Ailey.
Sure. I'm going to say there's a point where you
I
two
will go and
reconvene.
find... Sorry, say again?
I'm going to say there's a point where Ailey and Carillia reconvene and you manage to find both of them just asking around.
I'm holding the camel and a hairy lizard on the reins, and I just go, "Hey guys, so I've got to go for a little bit with Ilek, and I just wanted to say that it's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys, and I take off Jirab's hat and I give it to Carillia, and I just say, can you both look after that for us? Okay, well, I gotta get
Come back and wear it again.
You bet I will. Oh, and also take this, and I hand over the piece of cinnamon to Ailey.
Oh, nice.
And I just say, this is kind of been a bit of a good luck charm for me. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope it keeps you well.
I hope we shall stay fortunate without you.
I'm sure you will. That's what the cinnamon's for. And then I walk off.
My leather thong.
Like, see you soon, guys.
Sorry, Shannon, what are you saying?
I want to give Barney my leather thong.
Your leather thong?
Yes.
Is there anything on it, or is it just
leather thong? Nusku.
Oh, okay. You have a leather thong that suspends a effigy of the god Nusku at the end. You can give. Yeah, you can certainly give Barney the.
Barney, you also my voice. I'm gonna use anyway.
I can't hear Shannon currently, so
okay.
you're good.
Oh no.
Okay, sorry, Shannon. So we're getting close to the end here, but I'm going to say that Carillia extends out to you this small icon of Nusku on a strand to put around the neck. Shannon, shall I relay through you what words do you leave
Yeah, I tell him that was this was the first thing I bought in the city, and you were the first friend I made in the city.
This is the first thing that she purchased in the city, and you're the first friend she made here. I'm going to say you two probably embrace Alien and Barnlect. I'm not sure, but
I
think Aileen
going in
puts
for
out
the
her hand
hug.
and is like, she put her hand like on your wrist, and then you just hug her, and she's like, "Oh."
Yeah, that's definitely what happens.
Brilliant. Okay, and Barnlect walks away. Maybe about 15 minutes later, you see a few Behel soldiers, Fabat amongst them, come out to Ailey and Corellia and go, kind of panting, have you seen Ilek anywhere? He's absconded from the city. He's probably taken that Dromad with him, Barney, as well. Have you seen which way they've gone?
I tell them I had an appointment to try to repair more of the walls with him.
Sure. They go, the walls? Very well. Men spread out and they begin to head in completely the wrong direction. Okay. Last bit. I think Ailey and Corellia, while you're together at some point, maybe Kimashek comes over and explains his situation. And does Ailey give Corellia the orb?
Yeah, I give her the orb, and not only that, I say that I'm serving a goal for Ilek. It's going to take me west towards the raised city, and I could use a friend because I haven't many.
My eyes just well up at the use of the word friend. I'm gone. I'm a mess. I'm clearly going with her, but I don't say anything.
And then I guess I'm like, I held the orb and I'm like, I'll talk about this later. But at some point in the future, I give her the orb.
Okay. I'm going to say you give the orb, and probably a few hours later than that, about midday. I mean, we'll get into maybe what you do wrapping up in Behel next session, but there's a point, Corellia, where you've been given this orb, you're alone, and there's a brief crackle that comes from it, and a voice of Ilek comes from the other side. Corellia, this is only one way. I don't know if you can hear me, but I pray that Ailey has given you this by now. I'm here with Barney. He says he said goodbye to you.
Hello.
Yeah, you kind of hear Barney in the background. Yeah, Barney, I haven't got much time. Listen, I consider myself now to have fulfilled my obligation to you. The Oseth are cured, and they will spread their cure to the people of Behel, and then I hope in time the other cities and peoples of Alekvazi beyond. I have done my part to give them a home and food, and I hope that they can now seek greater purpose beyond mere survival. And I wanted to leave with the words that you have my thanks for holding me to that word. It is a rare thing that any true good comes from conflict, but on this day, because of you, it has. I wish you the best in the future, and I hope perhaps you stay near Ailey at least, because she and I will be reunited again, along with Barney, and it would be good to have you there as well. This is Ilek saying goodbye, and may the gods be on your side. He kind of goes to say a few more, and then it just kind of cuts off.
That was strangely cute. Ilek. Jeez.
I think at that point we're going to end there. We went on a little later than we normally would. We did agree with everyone. I think that was a good session. I certainly had fun. We can talk about the what happens next in Behel and the future for the party in the next session. Inurashi, Necro Kings, everyone who watched, thanks for doing so.
How long is Barney away for?
Sam is now away for the next 2 months, tragically.
God damn it.
I know. It will be very sad without you, Sam, but we wish you the best on your acting gig. Oh, sorry. Harry, quickly get word in.
I just want to say, I've got to get this word in. Halfway through the sesh, I decided I should come up with my own way of writing Sam out of the story. So I wrote this poem to be read after the battle. This battle has taken a heavy toll. If only we'd brought some better rolls. I blame the camel, that wretched beast. Let's throw him on the fire and feast. Sorry, I was really pleased with it. So
Keemachet alone in an alleyway spits a rather brutal riff that he doesn't tend to show in public and just silently fist pumps himself. And we are going to end on that.
My water with you, man.
Thanks everyone watching. Goodbye. Bye.
Thanks, guys.